Yeah, it's the Bennington show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
Opening song today got my mojo waking, and that is from Joyce Hart, part of Gail Bennington's history of crazy chicks doing crazy shit in the early 60s. I've never even heard this version of the song before.
It's so good, right? This is Joyce Harris, and I feel she is a rockabilly goddess.
Well, I did not know the song. I know Muddy Waters doing it when he's got my mojo waking.
Waking.
I got my mojo waking. And I'm like, that's not even an accent anywhere.
That's made up.
No one says, oh, I got to go to Wike tomorrow.
It's a cartoon.
Can't be there because it's Wike Day. Not a play day for me, Wike Day. But that's great.
I know. She's a badass bitch.
You know, we did Scope Talk Live before the show today, Piss Stanley's show. And he has got a new nickname, Jackpot, because he looks like a slot machine. You're just all perked up on one arm.
Yeah, I had shoulder surgery on Friday, so now my right arm is pretty much useless. And I'm a left-handed man now.
He had what a lot of young men go through, a jack accident, and the shoulder just gave out on him completely. He was wiking it.
He was wiking it too hard.
I'm on injured reserve right now.
Hey, if you're wiking today, we want to hear from you. 866-766-0339. That's the wike number. If you're wiking, I got my mojo wiking. But Chris, all perked up, but came to work. I was attacked by a disease last week known as a cold, and my doctor said to me, any other man would be dead.
Wow. You're so strong.
I guess I am, and the doctor I went to is imaginary because I don't go to real doctors because they might find something bad. So I just had some juice until I felt better.
Brave.
But even today, which is the first day I've been outside in 4 days, I feel like I should not be here. I should be home watching, as I say, my morning stories.
It's my programs, my stories.
If you've missed Scope Talk Live, that's where we go on the Periscope and discuss the stuff that we've been watching on Periscope. I forgot to bring this up. So this is kind of a Bennington show / Scope Talk Live after party.
Yes.
Love it.
There was the U2 show was from London, was scoped out for free all over the place last night.
Really?
Yeah. Now it's going to be on HBO in early November. And I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but they do streams that have no name. Okay?
What?
Yeah. They're doing their hit songs. Yes. Yeah, the crowd seemed like they were excited about the songs that they know.
I know this song.
Yeah, this is something from my youth. And then tomorrow we're going to have Open Mike Eagle come in to do the show. And he had a big scope. You said his son performed on stage live.
The first time his son's ever performed, and we got to see it live on Periscope. He whipped, he nay-nayed. It was amazing.
All right. Well, I want to see him fight Louis J. Gomez's son, who I'm ready to invest money into, because Louis has brought him up, basically MMA style.
Yeah.
He's a real ass kid.
He really is a real ass toddler. You can't take that away from him.
I saw the real ass tot at one point jump off the top rope of his crib, did an elbow drop right on Louis J. Gomez.
I saw him beat up a dog.
Yes.
Now, when a little kid can beat up a dog, because a lot of little kids are afraid of dogs.
Mm-hmm. But he'll grab a dog.
Whip his ass. It's his pleasure. Now, would you think that would be considered like racism?
Mm-hmm, maybe.
Tim Witherspoon.
No.
Fucking rock god.
He is a rock god. You're right.
The best. He was also Kid and Play's father, and he wanted them to stop the party next door. No, he wasn't the father. He was the next door neighbor, because he paid $19,000 for this house. Fucking made me laugh for 4 days. Anyone remember who Kid and Play's father was? Robin. One of the greatest comedians of all time. Joe, you're off the show. Chris, you're off the show. Gail, you're getting a warning.
Williams?
No, not Robin Williams.
Well, you said greatest comedian.
Robin Williams passed away in a tragic accident.
Mm-hmm. True.
I feel like I don't even know you guys. And by the way, let's not start wearing our team fucking colors, okay? This isn't the Midwest where we identify ourselves by our teams.
That's not what the Midwest is, young and restless.
That's all we have.
You know who Kanye West is?
Can't finish the rest of it without getting it.
All you had to say is go with it. First of all, I would have believed it no matter what you were saying.
Oh, no, I know it. It's just, it's not something a lady of my color should say.
Oh.
Right.
And I don't want to be in trouble.
By the way,
No.
it's going back to Periscope. If ever I'm in where the young black men are getting high and calling each other, their local names for it,
sure,
I'll go like this. Hey, can we go easy on the N-word, fellas? And then that always, that always freaks them out that somebody would say, let's go easy on the N-word, fellas.
Guys, that's offensive. As a white male, that makes me uncomfortable.
As a white male, it takes me back to a time of slavery. So
a time I'm not too proud of.
Yeah. I'm against slavery, but I'm very much for savory. And yeah, part of my palate.
Umami, if you will.
Jason, better than anybody else on my team. Jason, what's the answer to the big question?
The answer is Robin Harris.
The great Robin Harris. Not one person on my team knew it. You're going into the pretty good prize closet.
Thank you very much.
For him, not us.
Yes.
This is for you.
Pretty good prize closet. We have pretty good prizes. It's the pretty good prize. It's the pretty good prize closet.
All right, Chris, I was trying to set you up since you're in that room to start singing the way that he does. Add the names. You could have went for it. Instead, you gave me a thumb up.
Then I hit it at all. I'm a fucking moron.
What does he win, Chris?
You win! A DVD signed. Don't have the list in front of me. Joe has it.
Joe, what is it? He's in the wrong position, obviously.
He went, Scott, if you're not there, I'm effed. Signed by Daryl Hammond, the signed book.
Daryl Hammond, no, let's just say this. He was the original fake Colonel Sanders.
Yes.
They threw him off, and no one has brought up why. This has never happened in commercial fucking history before.
Yeah, and if it does, it's years afterwards, and we get a nice explanation, like, they said something that we don't agree with, and they're kicked out.
Something happened, right?
But something happened. He had, 2 commercials?
He had 2. They were amazingly weird. They were just, I'm here fighting chicken.
That's everything I need.
I like a chicken in a bucket.
I walk along the dusty trail.
And then he was taken out for Norm Macdonald. So everybody immediately started going, oh, who's going to be next out of the old SNL guys? Is this a funny thing? And no, it's just Norm. And no one has let us know why. By the way, I caught Norm on a scope. And I think he's got more in common with Chris Stanley than any of us know.
Cool.
But he was just talking about 1,000 putts over and over. I put it 1,000 times today.
Nice.
1,000 putts, that's what I do. It was it was just different.
I like it.
I was waiting for the payoff. Did not get the payoff. Don't know what he meant. Don't know what scope means. Oh, I saw another one, Tom Green in Belgium shooting a movie, and he takes time to walk around Belgium, and it was beautiful.
Really?
Stunningly beautiful.
I've heard Belgium is pretty.
I love their waffles out of everything.
Really?
Yeah.
I like their waffles, I guess, is the only thing I know.
That's their big things. Did you try the waffles? Everyone try the waffles?
They are really good.
They're like a dessert. I hope what I was doing was a Belgian accent.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know anyone from there.
I bought it.
They also are very well known for their chocolate. Chocolate.
They like the sweets. That's for sure.
I like putting. I putt a lot. 1,000 putts. I'd ask me some questions now, but I did putt 1,000 times today. Yes, I did like being on Saturday Night Live. It was fun.
Good.
How many putts went in?
Oh, that doesn't matter. As long as I just kept doing it. That's, by the way, That's the best fucking question yet. No one asked them.
Jerks. They're not paying attention to Norman.
I didn't have time to count all the putts, but I putted a lot. Periscope is the craziest thing that's ever happened in the history of the world, and it's fucking perfect.
In
It's
many
great.
ways, do you think of this show as our post show of Talkscope Live?
I think that of this show as my post-life. It's almost like my life is over, and I'm just summing it up with some young people. You know, every once in a while, I'll tell you a story that wasn't around when you were born.
Yes.
You know? Like, oh, yeah, we used to have zip guns.
Bullshit.
We'd shoot each other. You never yell bullshit. You idiot.
When?
You are so fucked up.
I like to say I'm perked up today, you know?
Very perky.
Now, by the way, this is the death rattle.
I know, I can
It's
hear.
happening.
Want some orange juice? I'll get you some OJ ASAP.
Yeah, it's got to have a lot of crushed ice in it, not cubes. Crushed ice.
I'll have a jam band crush the ice.
With his hands?
No, with an object of some sort that's clean.
You know, speaking of which, we should send somebody over today that they are doing a big opening, like an Apple store, but it's not Apple, it's a Microsoft store. And I saw a lot of people lined up, and they were doing staging. So have Jam Band see what time the speeches are made. I hope they bring Quentin Tarantino there to say the cops are murderers, like he did the other day in the city.
That was amazing.
I'll call a murder a murder and a murderer a murderer. I'm Quentin Tarantino. 15 minutes later, a press release goes out to the cops. Let's never see any more fucking Quentin Tarantino movies.
Yeah, but the Hateful Eight's coming out.
They cut off our ears. Put us in trunks. Don't call us murderers. See, here's the deal when you're a cop and someone's doing this anti-cop thing. He's not talking about all cops. He's talking about the murdering cops. And the Catholic Church made the same fucking thing when they thought it was, they said it was prejudice when people said priests were touching kids. Again, not every
Right.
priest was, but you were protecting the kid touchers. Can't do that.
Yeah, he's not saying a CAB. He's saying some CAB.
Now, Chris, do you support the New York City police or Quentin Tarantino?
I wholeheartedly support Mr. Quentin Tarantino.
So you're anti-cop.
I'm anti-cop. I'm pro-Quentin.
You will never be booked on tax.
Fuck.
First of all, you wouldn't go down there with me when they wanted to have a talk. I don't want to get into it now. He's perked up. He can't defend himself. Let me go to Joey Jojo. Do you support Quentin Tarantino or the heroes of 9/11?
I personally have to disagree with Chris Stanley.
What?
And I support the heroes.
You will not be going to the next Quentin Tarantino film?
I will not see it in theaters.
I couldn't live like that.
See it 3 times. Screw that.
I see it once for free at a screening and then again with my family.
Gotta support QT, man.
Of course.
Let me see. David said this. BL is rubbing off on Gail Ann. She just called it Talkscope Live. Did you? I hate how we all miss each other fucking up.
I think it's maybe she said it that way so many times. You're right.
Steven says, does the Scope Talk Live team all wear sunglasses on the radio too? Yes, we do. We all have our sunglasses on now.
Yes.
And that's because not only do we have a pretty good prize closet, but we're a pretty cool show. You
It's a
know?
pretty cool show.
It's a pretty good show.
Joe!
The Surfer store is opening right now, actually. This is all the festivities are happening.
So we don't have time to get somebody over there?
Run.
The festivities will be lasting for a little while, so they can come. If they go right
Well,
now,
who's
they'll catch
speaking?
it. I don't see any speakers. Just say that everything begins at noon, is what they're telling.
All right, we'll send Dan over.
All right, Dan, go.
Nicely,
But
though.
set him up, though. You know what we want him doing there.
Don't just
Boy, he's a
command
fucking
him.
idiot. Dan said in a story today that the person trying to take away Donald Trump's rightful place as president of the United States, Ben Carson, said that when he was 14, he tried to stab someone.
God.
That he told that story.
Stop telling stories.
About yourself. And who's voting for Ben Carson?
I don't think anyone is.
If someone says to me, I want to vote for Donald Trump, I don't think they're crazy. I get it. You're anti what's come before you. You want to have something happen. But what fucking lunatic would vote for Ben Carson?
Well, yeah. Have you seen the way he runs up a fence?
He's a fucking mad dog, and he's confused.
He's very confused.
And if people, he said he tried to stab somebody in the gut. I know for a fact he stabbed several people in the brain. Right? In their fucking brain.
That's how he got into that line of work.
Yeah. Just stab it away in there.
He also said this weekend, he made some statement that said that slavery in this country is the same as abortion. And he had the tie between the two. And I think everyone was like, I don't know which one to be more offended. Like, should women be more offended? Should black people be more offended?
I would say this. I will at least say I give him the thing that he's anti-abortion no matter what, even if you're raped.
Yes.
Because nothing else makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, you're either pro-choice or you're pro-not choice, but you can't say, unless it's a rapist, baby.
Right.
And then the woman has the right to choose. You're not making fucking sense.
Loophole.
Yeah.
That's
so now Ben Carson has my vote.
So yeah, exactly. You're saying it's murder.
Yeah.
Unless certain circumstances, and then you may murder.
Unless you don't want that pregnancy. You know? Then you make a choice. It's up to you. And the rapist should be there to support your choice. He doesn't have the choice. That's what men never get in that argument. What about my choice? No, you don't have one.
Nope.
You had a choice to fucking wrap that rascal. Put a fucking hat on it. Ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-da prize. By the way, did Dan leave yet?
Dan just left. Yeah, he's out.
Oh, because he was sticking up, doing an anti-Chris Stanley rant the other day.
Really?
Because you put the kibosh on a song that Joey Jojo did. I never have gotten a chance to hear it, and I don't believe you have.
No,
Gail.
I haven't heard it yet.
But, Joe, you were disappointed that your song didn't run.
Yeah.
But Dan was actually angry with Chris.
He was giving me a bunch of shit. Sorry, Steely Dan Pearlman. I made an executive decision and said no. The Casey Balsham song isn't going to run.
Now, were you happy with Chris's decision?
Well, no, I mean, I put a lot of effort into it, and I thought it was pretty good myself.
Pretty good song.
Pretty good song, Casey Balsham.
By the way, your thing was subpar the other night, your scope. And it's because your phone blows.
Yeah, my phone blows. It's an iPhone 6. I guess that's, I don't know, maybe it's AT&T.
Could be that.
Long Island City reception.
I know Stanley never has any problems.
You can't follow me, bro. How's my ass taste?
Oh, God.
What up, Scope Bros?
Like perk sweat, if you want to know the truth.
Ew.
It does. That's what it tastes like.
Perk sweat. Yeah, you got to get off the AT&T. Get on something else.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of getting a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot and expensing it for the Scope
How
team.
much is it?
It's like a monthly fee or whatever. I'm going to go to the Sprint store this week.
How much is it?
I think it's like $20 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, expensive.
Expensive.
Expense that shit.
What do you? It's just like a thing. You take it along with you, and then you got
Yeah,
the
it gives
hotspot.
you like Wi-Fi. That's how I believe it works. So I'm going to go to the Sprint store, work all the details.
I like this.
Right. Some people are saying the hotspot doesn't help.
Oh, well, that's why I'm still looking into it.
It has to have reception.
I thought it gives
So
reception.
what's the point of it
I
then?
don't know.
Sounds like a mobile cold spot.
I haven't fucking understood anything since 1987. That was the last time I felt like, okay, I know how the world works. I can't keep up. By the way, on Scope Talk the other night, I'm watching it. A Spanish couple on a Vietnamese beach. The beach was phenomenal.
Really?
Just stunningly beautiful. It obviously was a hotel, so they had the nice layout. And they basically had one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen in my life to themselves. And this, I can't breathe all night, right? So I'm up, either playing Madden, trying to watch a movie, or scoping. And I'm like this is happening right now. And I go, they're there. He's with a beautiful Spanish girl. They're on a beach. They're Spanish people. And I have a fucking cold in New York. It doesn't seem like two lives could be any more different.
I had a similar experience over the weekend because I was watching a dude Periscope from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And he had
GoPro?
like a waterproof. Yeah, exactly. So he was wading in this water that was like neon green, and it was like the beach was in the background, and I'm like underneath two blankets over my head. Double socks.
Why did I fucking do this with my life?
This is real. It's happening on the other side of the world.
Here's the thing. Anywhere in the world, just write in New York City, and they're excited to hear from you, though.
Yeah.
Like, they all love New York City, wherever you go. I'll tell you this. Kids all over the world listen to shitty dance music, no matter what's happening.
Yes.
I tried to call you on my cell phone. What the hell's that a fucking song, you fucking idiot? Where's that noise coming from instead of a voice? Do you have a piece of metal lodged in your throat? I tried to call you on a cell phone. Who are you, the fucking Tin Man? Why do you sing like that?
We like it.
So cool. So robot-y and cool.
All right. So let's take a listen to this song. What was the song about?
It was for Casey Balsham after she won the Highlander Gronk signed ball.
And this was to welcome her in?
This was to welcome her in, yeah.
All right, let's take a listen.
She's a Picks girl, and she went real far, and she won the Highlander anyway. Casey Balsham, yeah, her picks were money. Casey Balsham, yeah, her picks were money. It's a win, girl, for Casey Balsham, 'cause she won the Gronk ball anyway. Said guessing and guessing won't get you too far, get you too far. Don't you know that Casey beat out 60 comedians, she still won on her own. When the Highlanders involved, Casey beat them all, now she gets the Gronk ball. 'Cause she's a Picks girl, and she went real far, and she won the Highlander anyway. Picks girl, Casey Balsham, yeah, her picks for money, yeah, her picks for money, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's a win, girl, for Casey Balsham, 'cause she won the Gronk ball anyway. Picks girl, said guessing and guessing won't get you too far, get you too far. Oh.
Chris, you put the kibosh on that?
Why would you do that? That was amazing.
I deaded that song.
Now, here's the deal. You certainly don't want her to walk in and meet us for the first time hearing that shitty, awful song being sung by Kermit the Frog's love child.
I'm a Picks girl.
Because it has nothing to do with her career and everything to do with a fucking game that
our show.
Our show. And we made up a game that went south within a month. Just shit the bed.
But I do love that song, so I'm thinking from her perspective, I would imagine being welcomed in with that song, I would be pretty excited. Like,
I think just the opposite. I think, if anything, we could have come back with a second break with it.
Yeah.
And that's why it might be an idea situation. But the song itself, and this needs to be said, is awful. It's stupid, and it sang terribly.
Thank you. She's a Picks girl?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Picks girl?
She picked really well.
All right, now.
But then he said she won the Highlander anyway. It doesn't really make sense.
Imagine you yourself, Gail.
Okay.
And you're going to be guesting on other shows.
I am going to be guesting on other shows.
If they brought you into a song like that, you would immediately think, are they making fun of me and my career?
I would agree that it might be a little disorienting if you don't get, if you're just walking through the door and that's the first thing.
Yes, that would be terrible.
Maybe if we had known her better, it could be funny.
All right.
But perhaps first meeting.
Josh Austin wrote this, and it's a really good point. This isn't really worse than anything else Joe has done.
Okay, see?
Thank you, Josh.
Captain D, slow song start, but rocked. Awesome song. Hashtag Stanley doesn't know shit.
Sir, you don't know shit.
First of all, he does know shit, and he spouts it on a constant basis. Spider says this, simply awful. Church of Bennington, damn good tune. There's a divisiveness to this song.
Get on my end, baby. Get on my end, because that thing should not have made the air. You know, for Casey to come into. I made the right call.
That would be a terrible way to bring somebody into your show.
And how about this? Also, what's the Joe List song? It's also Hall & Oates.
I thought that was a great tie-in.
Yeah,
I have no problem with doing plenty of Hall & Oates. I'd like to figure out the way of doing Fall in Philadelphia on this show.
Joe, get on it.
We can work it in.
Now, what do you got planned for Mike Eagle tomorrow? Because he's a songwriter himself and a great one.
I have a little something up my sleeve.
Yeah, it's that tiny elbow of yours. It's a fucking 8th grader's elbow.
Bony.
Beat up any 7th grader.
I don't know, Joe. I wouldn't bet your money. Maroon says, is that more Crowbar? Don't get it. Dave says, that song is so bad, it's good. More Joe, less Stanley.
Thank you,
But
Dave.
we're working on that.
Boo.
Lurch says, the dogs in my neighborhood are all howling right now.
It's falsetto.
Thank you,
Jackson
dog.
says this simply. Pepper was right. This is shit.
Thank you.
Mark the time.
Okay. Oh. And so HQ said, Bomberoo, more Crowbar. I don't know what he gets by more Crowbar. I don't know where that's going.
I guess because maybe he's trying to shoehorn in lyrics, but they...
All right. Now I like it.
But shoehorn is already a thing. What's crowbar then?
It's Crowbar is the same as more of a shoehorn. You know what I mean?
But that's to crack it open.
Well, you
Shoehorn, you're stuffing it in.
No, I was right. Let's not look into this too
No.
much.
I mean,
can't.
I guess if you didn't have a shoehorn, you could use a crowbar for that thing.
Ouch.
I mean, Gail's making a very good point that you really don't slide stuff in with a crowbar.
No.
I'll be using it incorrectly.
But I've opened up a can like that before. So, I mean, tools can be used for a lot of different purposes.
I've used the edge of a table.
you
For
can
what,
use a
jack
bat.
one?
Yeah.
Spider says, I didn't get the line about the oat man's money.
You can rely on the oat man's money.
He's the oat man.
It's the best misheard lyric. Of course, aside from Toto's Africa, which I still get messages from when people hear it.
Well, explain that to people.
So, my greatest misheard lyric was from a song that I love, which makes it even more embarrassing because I had been singing it that way for so long, and that's Toto's Africa. It's a wonderful song. And I thought the line was, I guess it rains down in Africa. It's Bless the Rains, which I think makes just as little sense as guess.
Before we go on, we do a phone call with Dan before we go on to set it up. We're what? We're people, right?
We're people.
I just want to clarify that he was not saying so to me.
Yeah.
That was directed to someone else.
I also mean so to Gail. First of all, Joe just writes me a note that says Dan's ready, as if my life depends upon that. First of all, Dan's already in the shitter for not only like backing backing Joe up, but really being so anti-Chris, where he's going like this, hey, it's funny, dude. It's funny. And people don't like to be called dude. I found that out today.
Really?
Yeah, they fucking hate it.
They don't like dude?
No.
As a angry dude or?
Just like dude.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, they don't like it.
I like it.
What about a major dude?
That fell by the wayside like most things Chris comes up with.
I'm all about Rock God now. People love that.
Yeah, I do. I love Rock God.
Yeah.
But any major dude with half a heart surely would tell you, my friend. What do you mean by that?
Would surely tell you. If he's a major dude, he would.
I'm a major dude, so that means I have a full heart, not just half a heart. Any major dude with half a heart surely would tell you, my friend. And I used to sing that as, have you ever seen Gronk's Tears? And the thing was, that was decades before Gronk even came around.
Wow.
Johnny James said, let's hear that Joey Jojo song again, please. Check out Peppy putting on his exec producer pants. First time he's worn pants all year.
I'll tell you this right now. It's incredibly hard to wear pants with this bum arm.
And then Bowen said, that's how you executive produce. Attaboy, Chris. And a lot more people are right. You can rely on the oat man's money.
It's the best.
Well, I don't want anything to do with the city of Philadelphia after last night. That is a city that doesn't exist to me. It just goes from fucking Jersey to Delaware with nothing in between.
There's a void, just a weird void.
Yeah, you drive through a fucking absence. Jack says, did Joe just said he could beat off any seventh grader? That's exactly what he said.
Challenge accepted, Jack.
All right, Dan Perlman stood up to Chris Stanley and told us that Joey's song was amazing. Dan.
Yeah.
Couldn't disagree with you more. That song was fucking horrific, and so glad we didn't bring her into it. Would have been embarrassing.
I love that song.
Yeah, you've got taste for shit, actually.
It's pretty
By the
catchy.
way, but we love Casey, right?
Oh my God. I
Awesome.
adore Casey.
Yeah, one of the few people that I don't want to say few, but a lot of comics, they don't have a great first appearance. You can't give up on them if they don't, because it's a weird environment and you bring them back a couple times
Yeah.
and normally they get better. And then, the Stengel brothers, book them on their show.
Sure, that's
So
how it
that's
goes.
how it works out. But, Casey, I was just crazy. Chris, the perks are making you overly happy. Seriously.
I'm dying in here.
You're fucking laughing like a jolly man.
I'm feeling good, Rod.
Yeah. I mean, you had a fucking Wilford Brimley laugh going. It was so happy.
You need the mustache to match.
I'll grow it out.
Dan, before we scope with you, what exactly is happening over at the big Microsoft store?
It's a whirlwind of excitement right now.
Yeah.
So I'm in line outside Fifth Avenue for people trying to enter the Dell store, and they already gave me some swag. I got like a little grand opening badge to get into the store.
Great.
So I think everyone. I was just handed a canteen here. I think everyone gets the Dell. I'm making friends in the line here, and then we'll just go in and we'll loot and take some Xboxes and iPads and the whole works.
Okay, we're gonna see you on Scope. What are you putting it up as?
Microsoft Store grand opening live in NYC.
Oh, it sounds exciting. All right.
It does sound good.
We'll look for you there on the Periscope, and make sure you follow the iBang on Periscope, because they have just tons of great shows. Shows like Smoke with Chris.
Yes.
Love it.
Scope Talk Live. Shootout in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Shoot on
What
NYC.
have you?
You don't have a standard show to go to right now.
I'm
Joe.
still finding my niche, my audience.
I would like to see you with a Casio doing like a kind of nice variety show.
I would like to
Just
see that
you
as well.
playing your songs.
That'd be pretty fun, actually.
yeah.
And
yeah.
I would love to see, you bring your roommates back as panelists on your show.
Your
guests.
roommates are so much funnier than you.
I get it from them. They're great, though.
They raised you right.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we're no longer friends because of you and your fucking friend. We're no longer friends with Molly.
What? No. Because
You know
of that
why?
scumbag?
Yeah, because of Chris and, well, not Chris, but Joe and his roommate giving away stuff on the air that hurt feelings.
Oh.
I'll have to call her immediately.
Too late, man.
Apparently it happened from the vacation. Remember she called us
Oh,
with
yeah.
the parents? And
Yeah.
that's when he started to peak up stuff. So that goes back to like August. We haven't realized we're not friends with Molly anymore.
That's terrible, Joe. You can't
Yeah.
keep your mouth shut about piss for one fucking day. It's constantly going back to urine.
Chris, the mood swings that you're going on right
Dark.
now are pill related. The
Really?
happiness that you had and the
He
anger.
was just staring back with his little broken wing.
And then seconds later,
Why are you talking about piss, Joe? Just stop for a second. don't talk about piss every 5 minutes.
I will light you on fire, you motherfucker. I will light you on fire.
Seriously, Molly's our friend, and you ruined it.
We're going to turn around. He's going to be crying in a few minutes.
All right, let Dan know that the shot should be him covering the people in line. You know what I mean? Not so much the opening of a store. But, well, yeah, just put him on, but not put on the stuff at all. Well, there's an attractive woman with him.
He always
He's showing off his fun stuff that he's getting. All right, give us a little volume, see what he's doing.
And I made a new friend in line here. What's your name, man?
Name's Ariel, man.
Ariel, Dan.
That's cool.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so and Ariel, you were telling me that you're here for the Halo event, right?
Halo 5 event.
Halo
is
5.
happening later.
Wait, is Halo 5 launching today?
At midnight today.
At midnight. So you're gonna be here till midnight?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
So right now you have
Crazy.
people of all kinds. People who
Everything's
are gonna be
nice.
here until midnight, like Ariel, and probably everyone else. More stickers?
Yes, more stickers.
Oh my God! You'd think one person could handle all the stickers, but that's why Microsoft is great at keeping people at work.
I don't understand
Oh,
what the
green
stickers do for you.
I can give you the whole collection.
I would love the whole arsenal. Yeah.
All right.
Wait, it's red, orange, green, blue. Oh, purple, the 5th color. Here we go.
Yeah, rainbow.
Okay, so right now I'm full stickered out. You get full stickers, Ariel?
No, I already have everything here.
Oh, he had everything already. So some people came very prepared.
Ariel's great.
And some
I like
people
Ariel
not so
better
much.
than Dan.
Oh, they're throwing stuff? Where? In the air? All right, Ariel's my main man here, so we're gonna go in and we're gonna play some Halo together. So this is gonna be awesome.
See, Dan's the kind of guy, like, if you didn't know him, you probably wouldn't like him. You know what I mean?
Xbox,
He's kind of dickish about other people's stuff.
Yeah, I don't think Ariel's about to punch him in the neck.
Yeah.
Ariel's fucking cool, though.
Now, I never played the Halo. Is this a shoot 'em up game?
Yeah, it's a first-person shooter, right?
Yep.
Well, how's that different than a second-person shooter? I don't know other games.
Not sure. I think third person is when they say the royal we.
Yeah.
I think the second person is when you watch someone else shoot.
Oh yeah, I used to do that all the time with
I've
my
done
brother.
that, yeah.
He was better at the video games, and I was just watching.
Well, you have cousins, they're little kids, that they go on YouTube to watch other people play games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
and then they'll say this, who's your favorite YouTuber? And I go, I don't even know what that means. I go, I guess Elvis Costello? That's what I'm generally there for.
The biggest YouTuber in the world is just the guy who plays video games and like makes comments while playing it.
Yeah, it's like,
Like,
And
fuck
what's-
that dude up.
it's
yeah,
like
basically.
NFL commentary, but for video games.
But
And they're
for
funny.
his own, it's like if Tom Brady was mic'd and like, I'm fucking whipping their ass on an open receiver, motherfucker.
They watch the ones where they're like building stuff. What's the one where it's like a world?
Minecraft.
Minecraft. I was gonna call it Minesweeper, and I really
would've
was
liked
about
it.
to show my age.
Yeah.
Oh, Minesweeper.
Oh, I know. I like to watch people play baseball. So who am I to say?
Weird.
What's your favorite YouTuber?
But they do. They'll say, what is your favorite YouTuber? I don't even know how to answer that fucking question.
I'm
I
not
didn't know
sure.
that there were professional YouTubers.
My cousin is a professional YouTuber.
Nuh-uh, really?
She makes money off of doing it, and she has like 2 million subscribers.
What'd she do? Show her tits?
She's a makeup artist for tits. No, but for faces mainly.
So women go there to see how to do makeup?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
huge on YouTube. There's like makeup tutorials and stuff like that.
Like
huge.
cinematic
Hold
makeup
on. It looks
design.
like Ezra is with him. Let's go say it.
Us?
Commercials, dude, you're getting Adele?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we're gonna audition for that. All right, so we got Eric doing that. Audition for the new commercial because the other guy got fired.
Which commercial?
The guy says, dude, you're
I
getting
will tell you
Adele.
this
And then you throw in
about,
some classic
and this
Eric
is
flavor.
something BL couldn't pull off the other day, that Dan is actually holding his viewers. Where BL, when she started her salute to dead John Lennon, it was massive when it started, and within minutes was just falling out the bottom. By the way, we discussed this on Scope Talk Live. You got pwned by her, and I'm using it in a language that your cousin could understand.
Mm-hmm.
Pwned.
Owned.
Pwned.
Yeah.
Do you like feeling pwned?
No,
So the
I hate
makeup
it.
you're wearing today is shame. Who's the comedian coming in at 2?
There are no comedians coming in at 2.
I know for a fact we had one booked.
Yes, that changed.
That's because he was actually booked for Thursday and I was sick, right?
Mm-hmm. Had to move some things around.
I want you to send a bottle of champagne on ice to Mr. Jim Florentine.
Got it.
Say enjoy the bubbly, put the ice on your fucking balls. I can never think that thing was always my favorite. So yeah, in a way that Joe wasn't able to do with BL, he's holding. Now, another thing about BL, you do not let her interact and bother street people. It's a dangerous thing in New York.
Yes.
Yeah, I was working with BL, taking her over the Manhattan Bridge.
Bridge.
And there was just a cavalcade of homeless people towards the base of it. And she tried talking to them. I was like, no, they will kill all three of us. Do not get away from them. I had to fucking start yelling at her.
I gotta say this. I like Ariel for even being able to put up with this.
I know.
Because if a guy was scoping next to me, I think I'd say, fucking get away from me. You know, and I would just start playing Halo again.
People like being on Periscope. I found that out at the Mets bar I was at last week. I was like, hey, bro, we're on Periscope. Like, oh, shit, it's great.
Oh, no, I saw you doing that. And then he was going like this, how many people in the room, dude?
Then you're like, get the fuck out of here. You push him away.
So fun.
You do have a way of physically shoving people out of the way, which is uncomfortable.
It was a rowdy bar.
And you're already a big presence. You shouldn't be physical.
Oh, well, that guy was asking a bunch of questions he didn't know the answers to.
Yes, that's why we ask questions. That's why we don't say to people, hey, is this Earth?
I bought that guy a shot later. In the same scope, by the way.
You're a fucked up person. Now, people are right. I'm just saying some of the stuff that people are writing to Dan, and they said, if this was an Apple line, guys would be jerking off and going crazy. This got brought up. Order a pizza to the line. That would have been cool of Dan to pull off.
That'd be smart. These people need nourishment.
All right, Dylan said this. I don't care about Joe's song. Ever since I saw him on Scope, I feel like I should take his lunch money. Let me tell you something about this kid, all right? He is a letterman in wrestling from his high school.
Yeah.
That's right.
He also ran cross country in his freshman and sophomore years.
Mm-hmm.
And every year from 4th grade to the 9th grade, he picked up a presidential fitness award from the President of the United States, which has to do with number of sit-ups, pull-ups, and standing broad jumps. What I'm trying to say is Joe can handle himself if he needs to.
Fucking kid's ripped.
At a
You like the sound of
4.9
that?
shuttle run. Yeah.
Shuttle run. We have to put the block down, run
Block
back.
down,
Sure.
run back.
I
Yeah.
forgot about the shuttle run. You got to put the block down, run back, get the other block. Very tiring.
I only liked the mile. That was the only one
Yeah.
I liked.
Well, that's a little far from me. I remember when I ran the mile, I think I ran about 300 yards, that took my sneaker off and threw it in the back of another kid. And that made him, for some reason, fall down like he was shot. And then luckily we were both in trouble and we're sitting on a bench outside the principal's office.
I was one of the few girls who took it seriously.
Yeah.
All the rest of my friends would just walk really slow, and then like the coach
Yeah.
would be yelling at them like, stop it, we're tired, we just want to walk. And then I would pass and they're like, what are you doing? Why are you running? That's lame.
They're right. You were fucking lamos. Ariel seems to be co-hosting the show.
I think Ariel's a little young for
All right,
this.
this got written. Is Dan meant to be funny? She's gross. That's a guy. And I bet he likes Michael. He likes metal. Yeah, I think Dan missed the point that he was supposed to be on the outside of the line, and now he's just more about getting tchotchkes and going in. People are saying this, less Dan, more Ariel. That's hurtful.
Some aerial footage.
That's good, dude.
Thanks.
That's fucking good, man.
Okay, Chris is laughing at that. I know he's perked up because he does not like puns. I know he does not like puns.
Click your mic on. Enjoy your laughter. Enjoy your perk laughs, you fucking prick.
He's just with his eyes closed. I look over at him in dead silence behind the booth, like, so punny.
I think I'm breaking out hives from the perks. It's not good.
Or the perk sweat.
It is true, though, of fucking any barbiturates makes you itch from the inside after being on it for a couple days.
Yeah, I'm scratching the shit out of my calf. Feels great.
Yeah. Don't you like smoking more, too?
Oh, God. Why do they taste so good?
I don't know, but any kind of opiate and smoking is just fucking lovely.
It's like the only time you ever really smoke a cigarette. Any other time is bullshit.
Now, when look, I understand that Dan, we didn't give him a lot of stuff, but you've watched TV before, right? What you do is cover the line, cover the story, not get into the line. You'll never see, well, I'm in line for playoff tickets. That doesn't
see you in 9 hours.
That doesn't happen.
Just trying to pass the time over here until we get in.
It's exhausting, but I'm getting a lot of stickers. This is how these fucking large corporations treat us like children now, that they keep having these nonsense prizes every fucking 20 yards just to make people feel like they're getting stuff. There are people who have a job thinking about lines all the time and how to keep people happy. Disney has things, so when you cross when you're in the line so far, a new video will come up. The people watching it and they feel like they're making progress.
Ugh.
But it's all just a lie to make you feel like you're doing something and getting something that you're not.
That's horribly evil.
And fucking Dan, rather than covering it and having fun with it, bought into it.
He's part of the machine now. The line machine.
Welcome to the fucking machine, you creepy creep.
The Microsoft machine, known as a computer.
He's focusing on underage girls, too.
No, Dan!
No, Dan, that's Chris's job.
No, not that either.
It's kind of a reoccurring theme with our staff, I feel.
Oh, God. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen anyone do. You know what I mean? It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen anyone do in covering a story was to get in the line. I can't think of anything dumber. I'm sitting here going, we've all watched the news since we were babies. No one gets in the line. They walk along the line asking people, how long you been in the line?
I don't know.
We've all waited in lines before, too.
This is known as a line.
Yeah. I take a couple steps and then I stop again in this line. Ariel's still with me, and he seems like a good friend.
You should start making out with Ariel.
Maybe he's not familiar with television and the news.
And he is... people are writing to him that he drank the Kool-Aid, but it's worse than that. It's actually even worse.
He is the Kool-Aid. Now people are drinking him.
You're nuts in there. You're fucking nuts.
Perked up weirdo.
You're nuts.
We got 4 more weeks of this.
Look, this woman's yelling at him. Turn it up.
And some people are going to be waiting till midnight, I heard, for the new Halo game.
That's right.
Are you going to be waiting till midnight?
I'm going to be working till then. Yes.
Oh, my God. That's horrible.
That's great,
What a horrible thing that some of these people are subjecting themselves to. But people really seem to like technology.
Chris, when is Jam Band going to just take the thing for this? I think this would have been a perfect Jam Band thing.
We're working on some Periscope ideas for JB.
Is that what's going on in there?
That's not what I asked you at all.
Oh, okay.
It's like if someone owes you money, Chris would be like this. We're talking about paying you a lot of money in the future.
What? No, I just need my money right now.
I have to pay rent.
There's Perky having the time of his life.
Funny, it's a good show today.
No. You ate a bucket of Perks and you're loving everything.
Chris Perkley.
Elizabeth Perkley.
Mm-hmm.
So hot.
Perkins pancakes.
Pectoral muscle.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's fucking
pretty good.
Elizabeth Perkley.
Perkadactyl.
Already happened. Sorry.
He
What?
literally just said it.
What?
You
Are
just
you
said
serious?
Elizabeth Berkley.
No.
Oh, God.
All perked the
He's
fuck up.
nuts.
There's nothing wrong with your fucking shoulder either, slip and fall.
Oh, there's plenty wrong. There's plenty.
You throw down yourself down the steps so you could get some painkillers. I've
can't
seen
even-
it a million times.
I can't even button my pants.
He's got a button in his pants?
Button my pants.
You got a butt in your pants?
Lumpy
We all
butt.
do.
Almost wore sweatpants.
In the
in-
back.
Brag.
All right. Dan got yelled at by a cop, and now he's saying Tarantino over and over.
Oh, no.
Confrontation with the cops, and then hop right back in. Very exciting. We're here. Microsoft
Ariel's
store.
expression
Where's the iPad?
priceless.
Right?
Ariel's just like, I'm in this now, dude.
Get Ariel's number.
And we're gonna get it.
I'm always happy when Ariel's part of this.
Oh, me too. I'd like him involved on any stuff.
And what else? What else are we getting?
There's
I
Ezra.
have everything already. I just want to go in and see what's going on in there.
Here, it looks like an Apple store, right? Except without the good products. The small difference that we're all gonna find here today. Microsoft
He's an Apple man.
Live.
Somebody's an Apple man.
Which book? There's a book? Oh, the Surface book, right? I got a sticker.
He has an iPhone 5.
Well,
And that's supposed to be terrible to you, right? Hey, why don't you give me your World Series prediction right now?
I'm going to give Mets in 6 games.
I was actually thinking Mets in 6, Gail.
Mets in 7.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
Going the full 7.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you're right.
My Mets in 5. They win in Citi Field.
And let's get jam bands.
Jambi.
JB.
I'm also going with Mets in 5.
All right. You know, I was pulling for the Mets this whole time.
Good.
Because I always vote my league. But somebody's got to be taking fucking Kansas City.
Mm.
Only because this show should not be so Met-centric.
Let's go, Mets go. You know it.
You're not even a Mets fan, Chris.
I'm a huge Mets fan. I got the hat. I was at game 1.
You'd be like Tarantino dressed as a cop.
Lifelong. 32 years. Born and bred in Queens. I remember Shay. How many people could say that?
Born and raised.
There's a bunch
Someone just asked if that was Kirk Hammett. Ariel does kind of look like him.
Say yes, Dan. Say yes, it is.
Dan's on the line ride. No, don't. Ariel's trying to get away from him. Puggy wants them to stay. Shine someone's helmet. Anything with Ariel seems to be better for Dan.
Yeah, Ariel's huge.
They make a great duo. But Ariel's pulling the weight.
More like
I'm gonna be
Duo.
honest.
Dan's doing good, but Ariel is doing great.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the reveal.
Dan's not amazing. Now, he knows a guy who's fucking amazing. His name's Ariel.
With Ariel, it's a whole new world.
A whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
That was fucking uncomfortable, right? When he jumped in like that.
I'm fucking creeped out in here.
Kid touchy.
It's lyrics.
I know, but it sounded. I almost heard you hearing you sing like pulling down someone's PJs while you're fucking singing that.
I guess it would have been more appropriate to launch into a Little Mermaid song with the Ariel name, but
I do. Well, I'm trying to.
What do you Periscope of?
Well, I guess I really don't. I'm like Instagram.
Oh, you're
Twitter.
Instagram. Okay.
I'm Snapchat.
Is there a place people should follow you?
At Serafino Says.
At Saravino Says.
Yes.
And she's a Surface girl. She
Wait,
says.
no. I was Apple
You're Apple?
up until this store right now.
Really? Until today?
Until today.
This is awesome.
My man right here is a Surface guy.
Oh, and you converted her?
He took me to the dark side. I'm coming over.
And you guys met in line here for the Microsoft
13 years ago.
Yeah, what years ago today? You're married
We're
and have
married.
one child.
Yes, exactly.
I like his
And
cool
adult.
sunglasses.
That's the thing. You can really fall in love
I
and
bring it
spit
down.
out
I'm
kids
hearing
here
Dan
in the
bore
line
people.
at Microsoft.
Why do someone thinks because they have a Periscope, they have the right to interview people? It's hilarious,
It's
right?
a show. This cell phone is a show.
I wonder now if somebody came up to me like, "Hi, you're on my Periscope show." I'd be like, "Oh, okay, great."
I know I would be.
What can I tell you?
Yeah.
No, I'd start mine. I'd say, no, you're on my Periscope now.
Or like I say to Jenny Hutt, not in here. You can't do that in here.
This is a safe place.
This is our own show, not your Periscope show. You wanted to make an announcement about Johnny Hutt.
That's right. Jenny Hutt
goes live tonight at
Today.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, Jenny Hutt is live with her brand new show over there, and I think they call it Trip Doc Radio. I'm not sure exactly the name of the station. Or now I'm being told Stars.
106.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's her new time slot.
6 o'clock tonight. And I was just told that before the show today by Gail.
Yes.
Who then, as I set her back up with it,
I have no idea what you were talking about. There's a lot of announcements that could be made about Jenny. She's
like
a lovely
what?
lady.
No.
I don't know. I thought it was about her scopes over the weekend.
Well, no, there's only one big story. She goes live tonight. All right, go to this guy here.
Listener?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. So do you want to say hey to everybody here?
Yeah, hi, Gail. Hi, Ben.
Oh, my God.
I'm messing up now. Hi, Stanley. Hi, Stanley.
What's up? Hi to Stanley.
Joe.
Stanley just had shoulder surgery. You
And
want to wish
Ron,
him
of
well?
course, and Ron, yeah.
And Ron. Big up to
and big
Ron.
up to Fez. Hope he's doing good.
So,
You know what?
amazing.
Make sure, let Dan know that guy's going in the prize closet.
Yeah. That guy's awesome.
It's the pretty good prize. It's the pretty good prize closet. We have pretty good prizes. It's the pretty good prize. It's the pretty good prize closet. We have good prizes.
Meeting fans in line. What's all about? Gus in Kansas City.
Hey, Pepper, I want to have a little bet with you. My Royals and your fucking Mets.
What's up?
If my Royals win, you got to wear a KC hat, do it smoking with Chris till Thanksgiving. If the Mets win, I'll send you a carton of red.
Deal, bro, because I'm going to get them smoking them Reds.
One-armed smoker.
Smoking them Reds.
Gus, I got to tell you, Kansas City is a great team. You almost won it last year. People are not fucking giving Kansas City the respect that they deserve on this. This is a really good team, man.
Can't touch our pitching, though.
They have pretty good pitchers, too.
Oh,
What do you know?
I like it, dude.
And he picked the Mets. He's saying, oh, but the Royals have good pitching.
He's pointing at his dick right now, Chris.
Really, really
Hey,
good.
you get that hand off your dick.
Yes, sir.
But think of his finger as an arrow.
Look, Royals got some bats. They're going to get shut down.
That is exciting, though. That's fucking exciting.
All starts tomorrow, 8 p.m.
I know. I can't wait for this series.
It's going to be amazing.
Here's the thing about this series. If you don't win the first game, it's so depressing. There's nothing more depressing to know that you're down. I don't know,
It can break you.
It never feels like it feels like you'll never win again. Like, oh shit, this team's terrible. Because you know they beat your best pitcher, the guy that you expect to get a couple of wins for you.
Yeah, the Dark Knight. He's going up. He's going to get this win in KC.
If he doesn't get the win, you're like, they're going to beat him again. So it's like going at least 0-2. It's fucking heartbreaking. They're saying that Trump is attacking Ben Carson for Ben having a stupid fucking religion. And Trump said this about his religion. I don't know, he's a Methodist. He goes, you know mine, folks. I'm right down the middle with it. Right down the middle. But this guy, he thinks the Sabbath is Saturday. That's pretty fucking weird. I'm just saying. Vito always fucking waves, no matter who he's with.
I know.
He's adorable. He's a big, dumb, adorable clod that we love.
He's the best. Fellow Mets fan.
This, I think, is the shocking fucking story of the weekend. Bill Murray's movie came out and did, in 2,000 theaters, $1.5 million. Now, that's an average of $750 per screen. So try to figure that out. You figure if you're going to do an average in this country, it's probably $10 a ticket.
Yeah.
So that's 75 people over an entire weekend, right? 75 being, probably what would have been the second show at the Stand on a Friday night. So you got 2 Friday shows, Friday afternoon as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's 3 there. Saturday has 3 or 4 showings. Sunday probably has 3 showings. You're looking at somewhere like 4 to 5 people per viewing.
Yeah.
While you're there. Now, the deal is, no one is more beloved on the internet than Bill fucking Murray. If the guy goes to a bar, it sweeps the internet. There are things, he's a god, he's the greatest, blah, blah, blah. Why didn't those people show up at his movie this weekend?
He has talked about, like, Earth's favorite human.
He is Earth's favorite human. Let's face it. But they don't buy tickets to Earth's favorite human anymore?
Was it that the trailer just seemed to not pull anyone in? Did it seem that it was bad from the trailer, just from the get?
Shouldn't you just go to a Bill Murray movie if he is beloved to
It
you?
shouldn't matter because anything he does, anything is picked up and jerked off over. Like, it doesn't matter what he does.
Yeah, not his movies. The fact that if he got behind a bar somewhere, he went to someone's wedding, he was at a ball game, they go crazy. You could put out a movie called "This is the worst Bill Murray movie ever," and been able to draw fans to it.
Yeah, and yet, where were they?
I don't know. Fans will obviously show up for a classic rock band, but will they show up for their classic movie stars? And should this show that he should have done Ghostbusters 3?
This is the most bizarre thing in the world because he should be making all the money in the box office. People don't care. I think people just don't want. People want to get that free internet content as opposed to going to a movie and seeing him.
But that's what I was talking about before.
Right.
Just because you have a big Tumblr page doesn't mean that means shit for you.
And I feel like, with the way people feel about Netflix and watching movies at home, they would be more likely to watch something like that at home. And the only things that they will go out have to be a huge event where you need surround sound in a big movie.
Oh, I got one of those, Ghostbusters 3, which they fucking begged him to do for fucking years and years and years.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he just do shit like that? Why wouldn't he just try it again?
People hate new content too, I think. People, if it's something new and they're not familiar with, it's just like, I don't want to risk this. It's bizarre.
They'll see the sequel to this. That they'll show up for.
All right, why don't we break here? We're right back. This is Bennington on Surf. That means the Bennington Show is on with your Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington, and Stanley Jackpot Bennington.
What's up?
We call him that because he's working with just one arm.
Just one lever.
Yeah, just one lever going at all times.
And spitting out cash.
Oh, yeah. He is.
Who wants some money, huh? You come to me. Old Jackie.
Seriously, we ought to call you Rain Man because you're always making the fucking rain money and you're kind of retarded.
Works both ways, really.
Oh, yeah, just like his asshole. It's an innie and an outie.
Hey,
don't judge. We live in a post-Caitlyn world. Do not judge.
Get off my ass, Joe.
Literally. I don't think we can judge anyone's sexuality at all under any circumstances.
No. We have to accept it. If it makes you uncomfortable, keep it inside. Don't talk about it or discuss it. Over the weekend, there was this, I'm forgetting her name. She's a feminist, like a second wave feminist. And she was talking about Caitlyn Jenner in a way that was less than excited about her and like the stance that she's been taking on things. And immediately people just shut her down. They tried to get her banned from speaking at a college. It was crazy. Because if you have any difference of opinion, basically the way she took it on is she said, oh, it's kind of interesting if you are a man who becomes a woman, we're more likely to look at your successes and your bravery, but if you're a born woman, it's different. And then she also said, you're not a woman, like it's a different thing. You're your own thing, but
right.
I wouldn't call that a woman. And Jermaine Greer.
Yeah.
And
Who's
she
been an incredibly,
and people just completely flipped on her. They were, trying to bar her from speaking at this college. And whether you agree with her or not, even if you wholeheartedly disagree, I think that says so fucking much about what we're afraid to do is have a fucking conversation about it.
Right. Particularly speaking at a college. I mean, you should let a Nazi, you should let the KKK speak at a college, because there's a lot to be learned about things that you disagree with, even if it's just making you think, oh, that's why I disagree.
Yes, exactly. And a college would be the exact place that you would think that they would welcome that kind of debate, particularly somebody who's, written books on the subject of, women and
Trailblazer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know that I was offered from my agent and I shouldn't even, it sounds pretentious that I'm even saying this, but he got me what he called a cottage speaking tour. Okay. And I would be just going around to small cottages in the Northeast and talking with people.
Sounds similar.
The pay is awful. I did not realize that the cottage speaking store, and they actually said to me, one of the people at the cottage, how many people you think I can fit in here? I can't make, we're not going to draw the kind of crowd you think. I get 6 people, I got to tell some of them to pee outside.
Sure.
So I'm going to do it, You
can bring cottage cheese.
Well, it's going to look good on my resume. And I want to get that out there because I've always got my eye on the next, climbing that ladder.
You better work on that resume.
But that's very funny that women would turn on somebody like Jermaine Greer. Well, first of all, there's something weird about feminism now. I saw that Amy Schumer, somebody that used to be on SNL, was writing about her being really let down with her SNL opening, Yeah. There's this thing of like, you're not the same kind of feminist that I am. But you will notice men never tell other men how to act, and no one will say there's no white guy that will say to Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump, hey, you're making us look bad.
Exactly.
We are very comfortable saying Bernie Sanders is a dick or Donald Trump is a dick. Not this somehow hurts me.
Yes. Which, it happens within minorities, like if you are black and you're behaving a certain way, then or you're doing something successful, then you're representing all of your race, no matter what you do. But it's crazy because women, it's just like, we're not a minority. Like women
You're
are
a majority who doesn't vote like one. That's your fucking stupidity. I'm willing to put out a book called Women Are Stupid, and here's why. Because you could have easily been running this fucking shit dump for a long time.
And strangely, it's a feminist book.
It is.
Organized, lady.
It is a feminist book, I mean, the fact that fucking 2 million people watch Joe's fucking cousin put makeup on instead of voting. I don't know. I just made up that last part just to
sure.
I think you could do
throw
both.
him in there.
Yeah, I think you could do both. I think you could do both, but that's just me. I'm just saying.
And Jermaine Greer was the type of feminist who I feel like she did the kind of shit where she said, hey, when we're talking about equality, we don't mean fucking opening doors or like if I need you help lifting things. She was like, we're fucking physically different. Yes. Why do I have to state that? But there are differences between men and women. That doesn't mean that you're not a feminist if you're aware that there are differences.
Is it wrong to say to Caitlyn Jenner, hey, you decided to become a woman at age 65, so you don't understand the life of a woman any more than I understand the life of a transgender?
Yes.
I mean, that's not a fucking awful thing to say.
Which is, kind of the take that she was saying is like, I don't think it means that being transgender is something bad. It's just saying it's different. It's a different thing than being a biological woman.
Particularly when this guy still hasn't cut his dick off.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if you want my respect, Caitlyn, you got to cut that dick off.
You got to snip that dick.
It ain't all about shopping, which is the only thing you seem to be interested in.
She just wants a fashion show every day.
All right, Chris, that's
what?
a post.
What did you say?
Why'd you slur that?
And also, why are you waving a knife around as you're saying it?
Let's put that down.
That's Percocet.
Ouch. Look, she's never going to cut that dick off. She never planned to cut the dick off, and she never will cut the dick off. It's not going to happen. She will always have a dick. Lay it
Chris,
down. Yeah.
you're just fucking high right now. You're high on perks.
I'm going to give him a blankie.
Oh, boo-doo-doo-doo.
Sweating.
Oh, I didn't know that that Christian Jenner won Woman of the Year.
Wait, are you serious?
From Glamour magazine.
Yep.
Was that a stupid magazine?
I don't know. I just feel like maybe they're not the best to say what it takes to be Woman of the Year.
I'll
anyway.
tell you this, I'd like to win an award from anyone. I don't care who it is.
Most glamorous woman.
I would love to get an award that said I was most glamorous of the year. I would like to at least be called Glam Rock God of the Year.
I think the funniest thing that when, it's immediate, like, accept her, call her Caitlyn, accept her, you don't question anything about it, but then immediately the media's reaction was to compare her to her ex-wife. She looks so much better than that naturally born woman.
That Iranian tramp.
Who wore it best?
Who wore it best? Just Caitlyn.
If you pick anything else, you're an asshole.
I would say this about Caitlyn. I think, and if I said anything to her, I'd say you wear it well. A little old-fashioned, but I don't mind. Well, look who's coming here. The person you did half.
Hi.
Gail gave you a half of promo tonight.
You did?
Yeah.
I did. Half.
Well, she wasn't sure
I wasn't
exactly.
reading what you were saying.
I gave her the setup, and she would not hit it over the net. Just have a seat for a second.
Yeah, I have like 1 second because I'm interviewing Wendy McClendon.
Yeah, there's no reason for you to do that. Just sitting here anyway.
I love Goldberg's.
Yeah, no. But I saw, and Gail saw separately, how bad your family treats you while you were scoping.
It was terrible.
And cooking, and we
Horrible.
felt bad for you.
They're cruel.
Why don't they support you?
They
in
don't
your
like
scopes?
you?
One of the co-founders of Periscope is going to be on my show today in the new time
I
slot.
don't care about that.
Exciting.
But see, the thing is this. You need to get divorced and stop talking to your
What?
children.
No.
It's time to reboot your life.
I love my husband and my children.
They don't love you. I know that you love them.
I think they love me a little.
I don't think so.
Really?
Watching you do that Periscope, it reminded me of the comeback. When her husband would never
God, that is like the worst thing I've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
Wow,
God, I love
because
that
that's
show.
fiction. And so I know the show is great, but real life is that. Something incredibly sad.
Is Caitlyn Jenner a woman with his penis? That's what we were discussing.
Well, I think gender is identified as the gender one ultimately in his case, her case decided. So for Caitlyn Jenner, she's a she.
Even with the dick.
I think she believes she's a she, therefore she's a she. That's how gender works.
Yes, but do you feel
Listen,
she's
as a
woman?
45-year-old woman, I find the
Wow, you're
whole
only 45.
gender thing, thank you.
my God.
I find the whole gender thing really confusing, and the transitioning from the fact that he was Bruce Jenner and Bruce Jenner's now gone and she's Caitlyn Jenner, the whole thing is, it's still a new sort of concept.
But do you think that you could relate to Kate, whether or not you would accept
like
it?
it's girl time.
Like with a penis? Like, is it girl time? Yeah, I mean, I would treat her like a girl, of course, because she's now a girl, but I don't have
Would
really
you
the
take
answer
a piss
about.
next to her?
Yeah, I wouldn't care about it. I don't think I know that she says she likes women, but I don't. I can't. I don't. I think
I
down
guess
the road
more
we're
what
gonna
I'm
find
saying is,
something
do you
else.
think that her experiences could be relatable to you as a woman? Or do you think it's
as a
different?
woman, like,
yeah.
well, if she's like hair issues or nail issues, maybe. But
okay, well,
Really?
what do you mean, like uterine issues?
Never mind.
She doesn't have a uterus. What do you mean?
The bulge. We're talking
I'm
about
asking,
the
no,
bulge.
like, what do you mean? Like her experience being treated a certain way?
Yes,
Because-
being treated as
yeah,
a woman.
I do. I
to
do
be...
think now she's getting the experience of what it's like to be a second-class citizen, aka a woman.
Oh, do you feel that way?
I do. I do.
But she's Woman of the Year.
I know that you're
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
I know you're
troublemaker,
second-class.
cutie pie. What?
You're a second-class woman in your own home. I saw that on Periscope.
I gotta go. I
right,
am. I'm
see you,
second-class citizen everywhere. I gotta go to an interview. Tune in 6 p.m. East.
I'll be listening.
Me too.
I hope you call.
109.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you a call.
109.
What's the number? 1-800-Jenny?
I love you. Bye.
1-800-97
Hey, you hurt her feelings a little bit. I never
You got her.
before.
I know.
You roasted her.
You made her feel like she was stupid. I guess you like to be, queen of the cat house. Or whatever.
That's me.
Bum, 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 bum. John MS. John.
Hey, buddies. Loving the new show still. I'm in my 40s, and I used to call myself a liberal, but I never thought liberals would want to stop people from speaking their opinion, even if it's a different opinion than what they had.
I think everybody wants to stop everyone from speaking their opinions, and liberals just happen to be a little better at it right now.
Yeah. They're a little bit louder on
But
it.
I don't like to hear other people's dumb opinions wherever I go. I'm like, shut up, you're a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people go, oh, I was watching somebody who did a free speech Periscope, right? So I'm watching them, and they were banning people from their room. I'm like, well, I think this would be a great example of how you could allow people to say things without getting mad. And the only guy that I've ever seen do that was the Ain't It Cool News guy. If you go to his comments section, it is brutal. And he never bans anyone, and he never, gets rid of somebody from saying something. I think you should, if I'm going to be totally
It's admirable. Harry Knowles, good man.
Yeah, he's a really, really great guy.
I've always liked that dude.
I've always liked him, and in my opinion, he's invented the internet. I think he's the guy.
He's been around.
It
since
still
dawn.
looks like 1989, though. He never upgrades.
I
It's
love
hysterical that it looks the same.
Neither does Drudge.
Yeah.
Drudge doesn't change a thing.
I was just thinking that the other day. I was on there and I was like, I don't think that this has changed in any way. Like the way he set it up, it's the same format.
And he has the same gimmicks for like the last 15 years. Like if it's July 4th, he'll have red and blue links with the black-white background. That's the most he puts into it. It's hysterical.
He does nothing. Seriously, he does nothing. And, people who go, well, there's no doubt that he doesn't have a right swing on it. But those things exist, and he's not writing it or doing any journalism himself. He's just putting up the stories that he agrees with, which is the same as anyone with a Facebook page. He was just there first.
He hasn't written anything in years. It used like every now and then it'd be like, this is a Drudge exclusive, like at the top left corner.
I don't believe that's happened since the Jizzy dress. He got the Jizzy dress where he was like TMZ for a little while there.
It's like a one and done though with that, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't even feel like he did anything much before that.
I know. I think you're right about that.
He didn't. Everyone knew that story. He was just the guy to run it. He was just like, he said, fuck
I
it.
thought he actually did something.
No, it came out later that a bunch of outlets actually knew that this was going on, but it wasn't like confirmed. And he said, "Fuck it, I'll just run it." And since
But
then,
he didn't just run it; he actually wrote it up, right?
yeah. He actually, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it takes to do a story.
But he's no journalist.
Yeah, I don't think he's technically be called a journalist.
He's a link aggregator. It's like the technical term for it. Like I go there to see a bunch of links because I don't want to search all these websites for it myself.
I was at TMZ over the weekend, and I saw Don Vito Margera had went into a coma.
Yeah.
And then his sister said, and then he awoke from the coma and started going on the telephone. And I am not fucking kidding you. I had the exact same experience with him. I did a show in Florida, and this is long before. I've known the Margeras for a long time. I've known Vince since I was in high school. But I did a show in Florida where we had drinking and wing eating contest on a Friday, and it was Paulo versus Don Vito, right? Who then we used to call Vincey Margera. So they're eating wings and drinking, and Vince had a kid with him that we called the Six Finger Boy because he had an extra finger, right? So they're fucking so trashed. They're so drunk. And they're fucking hitting each other during the show. And they're eating wings and they're covered in sauce and they're punching each other and they're drunk. And we were doing live reads in those days for the Hair Club for Men. And so Paulo was wearing a Hair Club for Men wig. And during the fight, fucking Vince grabbed him and pulled his fucking wig off with the glue. So you just see this glue stretching, and Polo is screaming, and then Vince was yelled, "Look at his piece of shit rug!" And they had paid us $100,000, right? And he's yelling, "Look at his piece of shit rug!" And then Polo's grabbing his wig and put it on sideways and just sat down all drunk. So, boom, show's over. Everything went great, no problem. We put everybody in their limos and we send them back home. So in the limo ride on the way there, fucking Don Vito passes out and throws up in his own mouth, and then he started to throw up in the limo. So the six-figure boy pushes him over, like, "Don't throw up on me," and just lets him sit there with the puke in his fucking throat. Yeah. So boom, it's done. So I go back to my place, and I'm just having a lovely Friday. I'm starting my fucking weekend. I'm in my Florida house. Life is good. We just finished a nice shock jock week of shock jocking. I get a fucking call. Vince is in the hospital. I get a call back. Vince has drifted into a coma. I get a call back. Vince is brain dead. They said there's no brain activity whatsoever. Could you call his family? Could you bring people in? And I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm freaked the fuck out. So I call his brother-in-law rather than calling one of his brothers, because I didn't want them fucking pissed off at me. Then I got to fucking climb a tree. So I talked to him about it, blah, blah, blah. I'm on the phone with his mom. I'm like, "We will fly you down. I'll figure out what's going on." I fucking drive over there. Vince is lying in a coma. He's in the fucking, ward. He fucking, in the middle of this, and he sits straight the fuck up like the Undertaker. It was frightening as shit. He starts to fucking pull all the stuff out.
What?
They're trying to stop him, saying, "Sir, you're very sick." He goes, I was sleeping. So, it's not a sleep, it's a coma. He's yelling now. There's no difference.
I'm a deep sleeper.
And then he yells, "You're trying to ruin my vacation. I only have 3 more days and I want to fucking go out." This motherfucker bullied his way through. He's like grabbing at pants. He's still wearing his thing. He's wallowing over. He's putting on his pukey fucking shoes. And I'm going, "We got to call your mom." He's like, "Why would you bother my mom?" I go, "Brain dead, Vince." When people are brain dead, I get a hold of their family. "I'm not calling your mom for everything." He's fucking yelling back. And then he fucking has the balls to say, "I'm starving." I go, "You're not fucking starving. You had so much chicken that it got up into your throat." He goes, "I gotta get something to eat and drink." He goes, "I'm not wasting my fucking vacation in this place." And then he yells at the doctor, "I'm not paying for this shit. I didn't ask to come here." He fucking tells them, "You can't make someone pay." And doing the same thing as his sister-in-law was saying, he fucking started calling the phone, just grabbing the phone and dialing it.
Holy shit.
He's nuts. He's a next level human.
Dude, this is the thing. So first of all, I feel like I killed someone I know. Second of all, how do you explain this to the family? But then third of all, I wish you didn't wake up from the coma. Like, he had me annoyed.
Immediately.
Yeah, I'm like, the last time I could enjoy myself was when you were in the coma. It felt good.
The first thing I thought when I saw that headline is, again? He wakes from another coma?
He's so fucking wild. Even in those days, before he got on Bam Margera's show, Vince used to work painting cars. You know, like fucking spray painting them, and you would go in and you get your car painted by him. He never wore a fucking mask at all, right? Mm-hmm. So the guy couldn't even do a bump because his fucking nostrils were sealed.
Shit!
When I had to just sit and lick a fucking lineup.
The chemicals are just clogged his fucking face. Oh my God.
Never wore a mask. Probably the most fucking toxic chemicals.
Oh, absolutely. Jay in North Carolina wants to tell you something. Jay.
Wow, what a story. Holy shit.
I'm be fucking totally honest with you. That's one of a million fucking stories, and not even by far the fucking craziest story about that son of a bitch.
Please, once a week, then. Fucking share a story once a week of that crazy son of a bitch.
I saw a fucking true Vince Margera story that I was in show up in a movie later. They fucking actually did it.
What?
In that fucking newscaster movie, whatever.
Anchorman?
Anchorman 2. I saw Vince. We're fucking driving to fucking Wildwood from Philly. And these are nice, flat fucking roads. And everybody's fucking partying. And Vince used to have a van with, like a fucking souped up cool van. There would always be a keg in the back. And I saw that cocksucker put the fucking get up from driving and fucking walk into the back of the van and leave the wheel.
Holy fuck.
Like it was on autopilot? He thought he could just, cruise control it?
He thought that cruise control and autopilot was the same thing. And he said we were ignoring him instead of handing him beers.
Did you guys just freak out when you saw him walk in the back of the
People were
van?
diving at the fucking wheel and then punching and kicking him.
Did you give him a beer, though?
He always had a fucking beer in his hand.
Wow.
The picture that they used in TMZ where he's choking Bam Margera.
Yeah.
He used to just choke people all the time. That was his move. And he would grab your windpipe and hold it until you passed out.
Seems effective.
He would crush the windpipe down until you passed out.
Signature move.
Yeah. Well, remember I talked about that guy fucking Butch?
Mm-hmm.
I saw fucking him in my fucking backyard, right? Where we had a keg lined up there. He's got fucking Butch by the windpipe and he's crushing it. And though these guys are best friends. And fucking Butch was just punching fucking Vince in the face. And you would just see blood spurting as he's doing it. And Vince still would not fucking let go of the windpipe. So you saw fucking Butchie's fucking knees give it out. After punching him 8-10 times. And then later, fucking Vince said this to him. Great, now my fucking face hurts when we were just fucking around. You see his eyes are closing and shit? He's going like this, he's blaming. Now my fucking face hurts.
I was just playing, just crushing your windpipe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's fucking insane. I should call rap right now. Fucking the stories were going forever. That's why I think he's safe. Yeah.
I was just going to call it. I had shoulder surgery a few weeks ago myself, and the perks, wow, great meds. But Chris, make sure you drink a shitload of water. I unfortunately didn't go to the bathroom for 10 days and had to go to the emergency room and all kinds of stuff because of the meds. So lots and lots of liquids.
I'm gonna stay hydrated then.
Fucking
Are you
Chris
drinking water?
I heard Chris singing his song "Meet the Meds."
Meet the meds. Meet the meds. Love him.
Come on and greet the meds.
Eat the meds. This is fun, though, This is a fun surgery I've had.
It's fun when you fucking sing stuff like that. This is Ozzy, the guy who Dan ran into. Hey, Ozzy, what's happening, buddy?
How you doing?
Good.
I'm calling in to claim my prize. Somebody told me I won something.
Oh, yeah, you did win something. You won a pretty good prize. I guess we'll ask Joe to tell him what he won.
He won How to Become Clairvoyant, the signed CD by Robert Randolph.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's a great
Nice.
fucking
That's awesome.
album. One of my favorites. As a
Very
matter of
nice.
fact.
Hell yeah.
All right, Ozzy.
All right, thanks.
Please, Ozzy.
All right, take it easy.
You know what? When are we going to announce when we're doing the Thanksgiving show, too?
This week is when we're going to announce this week. We have to
What
figure out
day?
the exact day. I would say Wednesday is the perfect day to announce.
Okay. And this Friday, we're doing the morning show?
Yes, we are.
Nice.
Double duty.
Double Trouble Bennington.
Sweet.
I've
Anyway-
missed our morning show.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
fun.
Well, then we get to do a smoking with Chris.
Oh, yeah, in between.
as-
Finally.
That's how it started. Smoking with Chris.
Yeah.
at 10:45. Now, I know that my Open Mike Eagle wants to do a Smoking with Chris with you.
Yeah, he's booked on a Smoking with Chris for this week. He's in tomorrow.
But it's going to be a very special Smoking with Chris.
Because he don't smoke cigarettes. He smoked that weed, that 420, that bud, that herb, those trees.
No, where you guys going to smoke? Right outside?
We're gonna smoke around here. Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't be on our.
No, we're gonna keep it mobile. It'll be a mobile Smoking with Chris.
You never want to be sitting?
No. And I don't want the smell to waft away to anyone.
Crop dusted.
Waft away. That's what that's called.
Beautiful.
Crop dusted.
Crop dusting. Yeah.
Are you a big weed smoker?
No, not really. I mean, I've done it.
Yeah, you.
I've done it before.
all
I'll
right.
tell you that much.
Neato.
But you just don't care about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain times for it. I used to be able to go out to parties and do that, but now if I do it, I just can't talk to anyone. I like up.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
Matt, you're up.
Hey, Ron. Hey, have you thought about maybe getting a book? Something. You got to share these stories. It's just, they're legendary.
You know what's funny is, like, I was telling that to my chick. I think I've forgotten so many of the stories that I first told her that I thought were kind of like normal, but they were like crazy stories from my old neighborhood. But see, the thing is, any of the stories that I would tell are the exact opposite of sobriety. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sit around and write a story like, then I was at the bottom and I really knew my life. And I'd rather just write the fun stuff before it turns bad. And I don't know if someone wants to sit around and read a lot of fun drug stories. I don't know whether it's a positive thing to dump back on the universe.
But at the end, but seriously, guys,
don't you do it?
Sounds great, I know.
Right.
But it gets bad. I just didn't want to get into that part.
After 15 years, you'll find it's pretty awful. 15 years of fun. I don't know. I everybody always. Well, first of all, they say two things. A, that I'm too close to the vest, with fucking stories. But here's the weird thing. Isn't it weird that I used to get fucked up with a guy who many years later became a reality star?
It's crazy, man.
Fucked
so
up.
weird.
Dude,
It's
you know what I
crazy.
mean? That's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's really nuts.
It was really weird when they hit big, when Margera became a name, and I had to be like,
When they moved into a castle?
Yeah, oh yeah, I knew Don Vito when I was a kid, and everyone was like, no way. Let me tell you a little story about the six-fingered boy.
Yeah, because because he doesn't seem real.
Right.
There's old Ron and Ron tapes that he's all over those things, which is weird because we used to do the kind of stunts that later became, jackass type stuff.
Yeah.
We just didn't know that that's all we should be doing. We thought it was a side thing.
Sure.
But, Flipper he was the stunt guy of our show, our radio show. And then years later, everybody had a stunt guy.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, that was a fucking smart thing that we had a stunt guy? Fuck, we're stupid.
He was just willing.
Well, any intern, if you said to an intern, oh, you'll get time if you go out and, do this, they all fucking do it.
Yeah.
No, this is the only guy I've ever seen in the history of Joe is the only person I've ever said, no, I don't want to do something. I've been doing this my whole adult life. And Joe just last week is like, nope, don't want to do it. And Chris is like, I'll do it like a fucking heartbeat.
I'ma jump around.
Sing a song about it, Chris.
Gonna jump around with Gurry on. Jumping, Gurry on.
This is
Jumping
how
on that
weird.
Gurry on.
This is so weird.
That is worse than Congressman singing Meet the Mets.
You mean Eat the Meds? That was right? That was the song you were singing?
Eat the Meds.
Eat the meds. Go ahead and feed the meds. Now that's what the congressman had sung in defiance. He had a bet with another representative where he said, I will go on the floor and sing Meet the Mets. And I'm sure this seemed hilarious to them. Like, this is going to go really well. And it's just uncomfortable.
Let's watch it.
And his beloved New York Mets after they defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers last week. And I will have no interest in extending my remarks. I lost a bet with Congressman Israel, so now, Steve, this song is for you. Meet the Mets, step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife, guaranteed to have the time of your life. Because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming to meet the METS Mets of New York Town. Mr. Speaker, please tell me my time has expired. I don't want to give the impression I'm not happy for the Mets. I am really. I say thank God the Mets are going to the World Series and not the Yankees. I yield back.
Gentlemen, yield.
They have fun there, don't they? They really yuck it up.
You know, I've been down there for those things before, and you would be surprised how few people are there to see that happen. If it wasn't, C-SPAN does not shoot the audience anymore because a lot of times they're not even there. And I've went there and I've seen a guy, because you can stand up high and look down on it. I've seen him give impassioned speeches to empty seats.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Which is essentially like their life's work or their...
You know who it was? It was the Kennedy kid who just wrote the book about alcoholism when he was a congressman.
Yeah.
I saw him down there yelling and screaming like a Kennedy, and there wasn't anybody there. And he looked like a maniac. He looked like when Chris does a podcast by himself with just his phone, how loud he is.
I like that. Congressman Chris, another Periscope show. Follow up the iBang.
Some of the people wrote this. The Don Vito stories are fantastic, but I'm afraid little Chris Stanley may be too impressionable to hear them.
I love them. Can't get enough.
As Ken said, I enjoy a good drug story, but that's probably because I have some of my own that I enjoy. Yeah, it's true. Those kind of people are gonna like it, but for today's youth, it's not a good thing to put a book out like that.
Or somebody who's been a sober person their whole life. I'm not sure how they would react. Like,
well, that's what's always funny when you're somewhere and like you tell some fucking story about the old neighborhood, and people are like this. Oh my God, no, is he okay? And you're like, no, you don't understand. He fell 3 stories, like as a funny joke.
Yeah.
You know, his fucking head hit. You know? His head. That's why I'm laughing about it, and that's why you should be laughing.
Wasn't he hurt, though? Wasn't he
Yeah.
bleeding?
Oh, yeah. He was really hurt. Get it?
Is there an ambulance?
Uh-huh. He was in the ambulance. It's fucking great.
Did he walk
He's
again?
gonna die.
This is terrible.
I watched someone tell to a group of people out at a bar. They were telling a story about their dad, and then it ended with their dad like punching him in the face and like knocking him out. And everyone got so concerned. He's like, "You're missing the point of the story. Like, let's move on. Like, yeah, all right, let's move on. Is that a big deal?" And they're like, "So you were abused?" And he was just like, "What? No, I'm just saying he punched me," and then like he was like, "Can we just move on with the tale?"
He punched me and it bruised my brain so much I went to sleep.
Yeah,
in a funny way.
He was a hell of a guy.
Oh, God. What are you gonna do? Right? We all have stories. But that's the fucking funny thing is like the drug and alcohol stories. Why are they always so much funnier than the marijuana stories? The marijuana stories, we got high, I got nervous, we decided to stay in, we ate a cake.
Fucking weed is boring. That's why. You got, like, weed is, if you mix weed in with other things, okay, then it makes the story. But just smoking weed, it's boring. It's just like I got high.
The only time it becomes funny is when things get so bad that it takes you out of being high. And then it's funny again. But nothing that actually is funny to you while you're smoking weed will be funny to you sober.
No, you're right about that. Miro says this. Is Pepper going to open Mike Kegel to the men's room at Caroline's to smoke up?
No. No, we'll be outside. We'll take a tour of the neighborhood, baby. Smoke with
Meet
Chris.
the Mets. Meet the Meds. That's so fucking funny. Look, and this is the other reason I know Chris is a person who's part of the tribe. Because 2 days before, he starts to talk about the perks he's going to be getting and how many. Now, to point that out to you, normal, non-addictive people don't look forwards to the meds they're going to be getting with their operation.
They're thinking about the pain that they're going to be in.
Look, I have 4 months of physical therapy, but, get some perks coming my way.
Perks.
Nice perks.
Keep a perk on.
Sweet perks.
And I relate completely.
And my doctor is pill happy. He's happy to give them away.
This is funny how there is. And you know what? This is always a good line for you, too. Hey, it's tough for me to get back and forth, so we maybe want to do 2 of those. Because they always fucking forget.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause I'm not going to come back in here, bro. I mean, I wouldn't say it like that. Then they'll think I'm a fucking creep.
Not right, bro?
It's very difficult for me to get away. So let's do that 30 and then an extra 30. And I'll do them both. I'll have 60 at my house, and I'll probably not even touch them. Unless you think I should have 90 at the house. And then you're the doctor. All right, let's do 90. 80. Let's do 80 or 85.
It's 90 it is.
You're never a worse person than when you're lying for fucking meds.
I'll tell you when you're a worse person when there's fucking half a dozen pharmacies won't give you the meds when you're fresh out of surgery.
They had them. It's your fucking job to say, look, you are a pharmacy. You have to get those meds. Call someone. But don't send me back out. I'm hurt.
I was all loopy.
I couldn't have. I know. I felt so fucking awful for you.
I felt terrible.
I was fucked. You look fucking halfway homeless.
I felt fucking homeless because they pinched my nerve or whatever. So the upper right part of my entire fucking body, my torso, my face, my ear, and my arm were all numb. Like my arm was paralyzed. Like I was just touching my arm, looking at it. I wasn't feeling it. I just felt meat, just like warm meat.
You actually told me that you were forming a fist. And then you would look down and your hand was still open.
I had that phantom limb bullshit that people talk about, where I felt like my fingers were slowly just forming a fist, but I was like, oh my God, my hand isn't fucking moving. This is horrifying.
I had a buddy lose his foot in a motorcycle accident. It actually took a long time, too, because he just hit the heel, nothing else. And then that foot slowly died. And Justin Stengel, one day I came in here and he was fucking dressed up like a motorcycle guy. And I'm like, you got a bike? And he goes, no, my dad would never let me have one.
Cosplay.
He's a doctor. And he says he saw too many people lose feet. And it actually happened to a friend of mine. I didn't even tell Justin that because I feel like, go get a bike for yourself and stop this. But he would get a cramp in the arch of the foot that no longer existed.
Oh, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare.
And when he said that, and they cut it off right below the knee. So that thing was gone. And he said he would get that pain there. But I remember when he woke up in the hospital, and he's like, he's coming to. And I was standing over his bed, and I had his left shoe, and I went, can I have this? I was like, fuck, man, don't even start, man. Just let me just get my shit together. It was so fucking funny. And then here's another thing. So when we went to the beach, he'd have to come hopping up on one foot, and then we'd yell, shark! Shark attack! We'd all start running and shit, and people get weirded out by it. But there was a thing, like, we were all fucking partying together one night. We're just having a great time, and we're laughing. And then, like, he goes in the other room for a second, and then the fucking phone rings, and he had called his nurses that he used to be with and said, I'm going to take all these fucking pills. But he didn't say it to us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's acting like everything's great. And then he had called them and said, I'm just going to fucking eat all these pills. Why live life without a foot? I always remember that. I'm like, oh yeah, all that shit where you act like it's the best time of your life. You really can't even tell your friends what the fuck is wrong with you.
Yeah, that's very true. It's not that kind of friendship, you know?
And I remember saying to the nurse, I go, you're fucking high right now. You're stupid and high. He's having a blast.
I know him. Okay?
I'm here drinking his liquor, eating his food. I know him.
And he's having a great night.
Church of Bennington said, did Stanley have phantom dick?
No, actual dick. Ah.
Keenan says, movies and weed is all you need, dogsy. Yeah, I will agree to that. But it's not. It doesn't make for funny stories.
Yeah,
like you're always saying, you fold into your couch.
Yeah,
and you just what movies do you guys watch over and over?
We'll watch any comedy from the 80s, 90s, Billy Madison on repeat all the time.
Jesus, see, I mean, an adult shouldn't be doing that. That's fucking weed making you do that.
Yeah, that's not.
Do some Ben and
I'm at the point now, like over my 4 days of being sick, I watched 2 movies, and I'm like, I had to make myself stay because I felt like this is going on forever. I'm falling out of love with movies because my ADD brain.
Yeah. I feel like it's something about, I think maybe that has something to do with the success of TV shows. Like you have the ability to watch for long periods of time, but you also can just watch an episode and walk away, where I feel our attention span is completely shot. It's crazy how fast you're in a conversation with someone and you feel like it's a good conversation, and then you just see their phone slowly raise up and you're like, is this boring, or is it that you are addicted to checking that
stop.
thing?
This is also, I've had this experience though. I've like, people are talking, I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I check my phone, but I would look up, everyone else has checked their phone. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, yeah, I got phones.
Oh yeah, I have that.
So now you've caused a whole room. So the 2 movies I watched, one was a movie I never saw, Harvey Keitel movie in 1993. Never even heard of it, called The Young Americans, where Vito, is it Mortensen or something like that was in it?
Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was awful. But I stayed with it. I'm like, oh, how did I miss this movie? I'm going to stay with it. And the other one's called The Experimenter, which is about experiments that you've read about your whole life, and that's the guy that they give these people money and tell them they're going to be part of something, and you start giving someone a shock in the other room. Do you ever hear that thing in school?
Yeah, I've heard that one. Yeah.
And Jim Gaffigan played the guy in the other room that's getting shocked, and he's yelling, and really what it is it's false, and he's yelling, please stop, and the person goes, keep going. And the guys keep doing it. And they put 950 people in there, and something like one person said, no, he's saying stop. I'm going to stop. Everybody else uncomfortably just kept going and kept shocking the other person because they were paid to do so, and because someone in a lab coat, an authority figure, told them to. And the basic premise was, you act like you don't understand how the Nazis do it, but when people of authority tell you to do stuff, you do it. I don't know if you guys remember a couple years ago, I think it was a fast food joint. They get a call. This is a cop. Start checking the girl, and they ended up fucking doing everything that they were told, strip searching her, all that
filming
kind of
her whilst they did it. Yeah.
And they were saying, but the detective told us to. You know what I mean? There was a detective on the phone telling us that we had to. And, it's just, people get mad because they don't want to believe that it is human nature. You want to think you're the person that will do the right thing.
And it's similar to even, they did the experiment with the prison guards and the prisoners, where they said, okay, you group of guys, you're the prison guards. You group of guys, you're the prisoners. Yeah. And at the beginning that it's an experiment, and you're going to be doing this for a couple days. And in no time, the guys who are the prison guards actually start treating them like less than, yelling at them, telling them to fall in line. And it takes no time to get involved.
I believe that now they make prison guards watch those experiments before they become prison guards and say, here's something that happens.
Right.
When we had that thing, Abu Ghraib, everyone's like, what were they doing?
Yeah.
But those dudes were told, hey, make it hard on these assholes and, up the ante. They were never told specifically, so they just were like, this is something that's being asked of us.
By somebody who's important and in charge.
Right. Let's stay on it. So I remember the one, I think it was done in the 1960s, and it was done in an elementary school. and they ended up showing it on TV, and that was the blue-eyed kids and the brown-eyed kids. And it was someplace like where fucking they had no black kids. It was like Iowa or some shitty fucking place.
Yeah.
And the kids immediately were being told the blue-eyed kids are better, and they're like, "Yep, we are better." And they start to taunt and fuck with the shit-eyed people.
Yeah.
And treating them like the shit-eyes that they are.
Disgusting shit-eyes.
And in no time, too, they were taking it to the playground.
Right.
Like, not
They kept
just
it going.
in the terms of the classroom, but when they would leave, they'd be like, yeah, you stupid brown eye. Like, immediately, they went to it and they felt superior.
Now, see, here's the thing. I could feel superior because I'm a contrarian thinker. I am a natural anti-authority. But isn't that just as much ingrained as for the people who do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just another thing that I'm not really in charge of, that I just do immediately.
There's also plenty of lessons that you learn that you've been told a million times, this is the way you should react in this kind of situation. And it's amazing that a lot of that gets thrown out the second that thing comes up, whether it's going to be your house is on fire or if you're being mugged. Like if you're being mugged, they say, give them what you will and drop it and don't say anything. But when you're in that moment, you are going to act however it is your nature is. And whether that's give it up or whether that's run or whether that's like, no, I'm going to fight for this thing. And it doesn't matter. You've been told this since you're a little kid. Like no piece of property means anything. You should just let it go.
Do you know that there was a fire? Well, you know this, but the people at home don't. There was a fire in a building next to mine like last week. And I found out what we would take in a fire. And that was nothing. It didn't even dawn on us. Well, I mean, we looked out and there was just a wall of fire outside and we're calling 911. Now, here's the really weird thing. I did snap off a couple phone pics.
Nice. Get up on Instagram.
Yeah. And I was like, man, if I was periscoping this would have been gigantic.
But there was no thought even like the important documents or the birth certificates or anything like that. You guys just like
no
ran.
But that says a lot about my personality is that I do not have things.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that makes me better than other people. I just don't give a fuck about things. I do not like things as much as I like, shit that I don't. Like, I don't need to look at a picture of my grandmother to think about my grandmother. I can literally think about her and bring it back to that moment. When I see people who have a picture of like their wife and kids on their desk at work, I'm like, what the fuck is with your brain? You have to look at a picture of your wife and kids.
Need reminders.
Yeah, like, remember not to be a piece of shit, because there they are looking at you.
This is why you're working, to feed these strangers here.
Do it for her.
I just got written, so you grabbed your phone. My phone I was wearing a robe as always. So my phone was there. So yeah, I guess
it was in your robe pocket.
Yeah, I guess you could say I grabbed my phone, but it was on me. But also this thing was, it was like literally right outside the window.
Yeah. The pictures are crazy.
Yeah, the pictures are great.
They're fucking nuts.
I'll just show it to Joe. Because actually I didn't want to put it online after I took it because of the dead people. No, nobody died. I'm only kidding.
No.
But that's funny. But I did, when we were all standing outside looking at what had happened, I did show, like, people were like, well, who heard it and how did you know? And I showed, this is a picture out my window of the building next to me.
Oh my God.
I know. And here's the thing. We could feel the heat. That's how big it was. They also haven't, because what she said, my chicken called 911. And this is why I'm taking pictures. And then she said to the people at 911, it's so hot. Which made me laugh. But look at that. That's
heat, my God, the heat.
Who expects to see that out of your window?
Is that insane or what?
No, this is like the building next to me, and I thought, because I looked, first I hear crackling, and I had an open window, I'm watching I think I was watching one of the games, one of the baseball games. I'm like, fucking sound. I go, that sounds like fire. So I stick my head out, look outside, and I see the building behind me. I see like the second floor because I'm at a treetop apartment, and I'm like, that fucking building is on fire. And so we haul back, and as I'm going around, I see the side of my house is lit up. And I'm like, what am I, fucking surrounded by fire? And I opened it up, and as I see where the real fire was, I realized I saw a reflection in the other fucking window.
Yeah.
And I actually said to 911, I go, you may see a reflection. Don't let that fuck with you. It happens.
Find the real fire. I made that mistake myself.
Now, there's a lot of shittiness to live in New York, but you get a fire truck quick.
Yeah. They're there super fast.
Well, you know, you're never more than a couple blocks away from a firehouse if you live in New York.
Yeah.
But see, this also went through there was an old pal of mine, I talked to him about him before, that had lived in the neighborhood for 80 years. And he would show me places where there were skyscrapers and say, there used to be a tenement there and they burnt those people out. They killed them. And he told me that time and time again. And I'm like, maybe he's just blowing it out of proportion. But now I'm like, they're trying to burn up the people next door because they could put in, that building that was on fire is probably 5-6 floors, and they could put in 100-floor building, $1 billion fucking amounts of money. So are they the type of people that would now? And I know the woman that lived in that thing, and she's older and has like a special needs friend who lives with her. No. And then that night I went out there, and that woman was running around, and I said, "Where's me and the girl?" And she goes, "Oh, she's over there. I'm looking for my cat." And I go, "I don't give a fuck about your cat." I thought the little special needs girl was fucking dead. I go, "When you fucking cry, you cry for a human."
Yeah, get in her face.
I kind of feel like she was responsible for the fire too.
Of course she was. She fucking burnt that.
Her or the special needs girl?
No. That special needs girl's afraid to light a match.
No, but she made the special needs girl pour gasoline all over the place.
Dude, don't even joke about that kind of shit.
That actually happened to me once. When I first moved here, I'm walking to my very first bar here in Brooklyn, and we turned one corner, and there's a giant building on fire. And it was my first time really walking around Brooklyn. I'm like, is this what happens here? Is this what... Do fires just happen on buildings? This is cool. This is a hip neighborhood.
Well, Joe, you taught me. You fucking proud of yourself?
I thought it was going to be the fire you started.
Yeah, with your fucking mind.
Yeah.
He's a fire starter.
Oh, fucking fire starter. I'm going to tell a quick angel dust fucking story.
Good.
This fucking buddy of mine, we're fucking dusted up, and he was so fucking high that he didn't know where the fuck he was. And then he heard a fire truck, and he's going like this. Oh, fuck, I started that fire with my mind. Now, again, that could either be a funny story if you're a fucked up, addictive type person, or a normal person would find that alarming.
Now, a real friend would say to that person, "You need to run, dude. We need to hide. We got to get you out of here."
You know what I said to him? Think of something else, asshole. You're starting fires all over town. Now, Chris Stanley, and since we were talking about the experiment and how that goes, Chris Stanley, you said that they've finally come to grips with this time-traveling Hitler fucking thing. Because I remember being a little kid and people saying, if you could time travel, would you have killed baby Hitler? And me saying, I'm a baby myself. I think I would be discovered. That's my whole life. People have been bringing this up. So what is the latest they have on this?
So they've said that, so they philosophically looked at, would killing a baby Hitler do anything? They came to the conclusion that no, because, all right, so say if you go back in time, if time travel exists, you go kill baby Hitler, that it will just shoot it off into a different timeline. So the original timeline where Hitler rose to power and killed the Jews and started World War II, that's still going to happen. You're not solving anything. Or that if you kill Hitler, that someone worse would come up after that. So that essentially,
well, that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah, I agree with that. First of all, you can't use your initial thing, your Back to the Future double timeline, because that's a fucking cop-out. Because if that's possible, it exists anyway. It exists every time that you don't take a left. That there are people who believe there's an infinite amount of Chris Stanleys. Some of them being serial children killers, and other them having blue-collar jobs.
Yes, so there's already a world with Hitler where the baby Hitler died of crib death and it just never happened.
And there's also a world of Hitler where Hitler became the president of the United States and a Nobel Prize winner. He became the Pope. In your case, the highest Chris Stanley there ever could be would be a one-armed radio producer who's eating perks.
Made to the top, boys! Made to the top!
And now we're here.
This is the best. First of all, and this one, the other Chris Stanleys would say, oh my God, he's a rail. He is so tiny. I can't believe it.
A lot of shut-ins in my alternate universe.
Oh, yeah. Tons of them. All right, so number one, they're saying someone else would come along and be worse than Hitler.
Yes.
That hasn't happened yet.
But these are what these philosophers are saying. They're
But I'm going to fucking say them. We've been sitting around for all these many years, and we haven't gotten somebody as bad as Hitler yet. So go back to what Gail says. Take the shot.
I'm very interested in this guy who is just like, we already have a Hitler. I had a crazier plan than he did, but he seems to really have this thing nailed down.
Why not come back and say this? If you could travel back in time, would you kill the 6 million baby Jews so Hitler would have no one to kill? And then just proven that he would pick somebody else to be mad at.
Interesting.
And then you just yell, aha.
See?
See?
I
It
killed
wasn't the Jews. You were going to find somebody to be on the outs.
We just can't keep you happy.
Everyone under 5'5".
Hey.
Oh, sorry, Gail.
But here's the thing, too. Why wouldn't you want to just go back and kill Hitler's mom or grandmother or whoever? Why does it always have to be back to that fucking spot?
Right. I'd rather do that than murder an infant baby. Just take me back an extra
I don't know.
tick.
That's killing the guy, though. Like that seems like it'd be more satisfying than killing the actual Hitler as opposed to the
I'm
parent.
not going to feel better about killing baby Hitler than I would Hitler's dad. I'll feel way better killing Hitler's dad before he conceived Hitler.
If I was to travel back in time, there's only one person that I would kill, and it wouldn't be Hitler.
Who would it be?
Sarah Connor. And unlike some assholes, I'd get the job done. No matter how many Sarah Connors I had to kill before that. Which, by the way, was the greatest fucking scene in any movie when she's watching TV and all the other Sarah Connors keep dying.
Yeah.
And she knows somebody's coming for her.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
She goes to that shitty club, though. To a fucking party or whatever.
Shitty club or fucking rocking club?
Tell me which.
I thought it was shitty. I gotta rewatch the movie then.
That's the only thing you missed.
I guess if I could go back and kill someone, it would probably be James Cameron. So that movie would never be made. And none of his other movies.
But then some other director would have directed even more time travel movies.
That's a chance I'm willing to take. So they're saying we could never go back in time and make this a better time.
Exactly, yeah. That something would happen to offset the actual killing of the baby Hitler.
What about baby Mussolini? Or Moosey, as some would call him.
Moosey didn't come up.
Moosey baby.
I hate Moosies to pieces. I think that guy was certainly funner and more barrel-chested than Hitler.
That made him more likable in a lot
And
of
he
ways.
ate better.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Just not constant with the bratwurst over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, Hitler just kind of looked like a dork.
I know. You'd have to be fucking, you'd have to be an asshole to follow Hitler.
You really would.
Chris, in India.
Hey, why do we always got to kill baby Hitler? Why can't we kill teenage Hitler? Because teenagers are assholes anyway.
Yeah, I kind of wouldn't mind killing any teenager, let alone fucking Hitler teenager. Hitler teenager just standing on a corner smoking cigarettes.
He thinks he's so cool.
Yeah.
Checking Snapchat.
Someone once said to him, "We're tired of all this bullshit, Teenage Hitler." And Teenage Hitler said, "If you're tired, why don't you take a nap?"
God, what a jerk. Annoying.
He has an answer for everything.
Standing on the corner, wearing his leather.
Here is Brian, North Carolina.
Hey, I didn't know if you knew that Bill Paxton was in Terminator.
Of course we do, and he was dressed as a punk teenager.
Come on.
We know everything there is to know about Bill Paxton.
The fuck?
Name something else.
Love him.
Who do you think you're talking to? All right?
The day Bill Paxton came in here, we were thrilled.
Yeah?
Thrilled.
Lost my shit. Love Bill Paxton.
Frailty is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I believe he directed that as well, right?
I'm going to double check that. I'm going to say yeah.
You don't need to, because we already know everything about him.
Chickadee, before I riggedy. You know, he's never this laughy as he
He's
is
so
on
giggly.
He thinks life is great.
He's Percocet for the next month.
That laughter's going to turn to tears in no
Oh,
time,
yeah.
though. That's
I
how
know
that
it.
goes.
I know that. Here's Aaron. Aaron, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys, Hitler was actually a vegetarian. That's why he looks so anemic all the time.
Well, he was he definitely was a vegetarian, non-drinker, they said, but maybe amped up on speed. They say that they invented speed and something else.
They definitely invented methamphetamine.
Yeah.
And they had meth factories just pumping it out to the Nazis. So the Nazis were all just fucking...
Was it blue meth?
I think it was blue meth. Yeah, I think it was some Heisenberg shit.
Blue meth.
And Bill Paxton, we knew this already, but he did direct Frailty.
Thank
Yes.
you. It's a fucking great movie.
It's awesome.
The Experimenter, I don't think I would call it a great movie, even though I do like having those conversations. He's also the guy who came up with 6 Degrees of Separation. Same guy, you know, doing that. I like movies about academics since I spent 0 time in that world. I know it sounds terrible to say, but it looks so easy just to get tenure and hang around a school making kids do stuff for you.
Yeah, I saw a movie like that over the weekend, too. It's called Entourage. The one I watched.
Did you really finally see Entourage?
I swear to God, yeah, I watched it all the way through.
Was it every bit as bad as I said?
Yes. And there was one scene where there was like, I guess the majority of the cameos, there was that party scene in the middle of it. And they're like, the fucking cameos are all outdated at this point. It's like Russell Wilson's in the fucking thing. He has lines and shit. He wouldn't be there now. Fucking no one likes Russell Wilson enough to put him in a fucking movie. And then Gronk's there.
He's a Jesus freak.
Yeah, exactly. And Gronk's there, but he's injured. It's like injured Gronk. I'm like, fuck, when the hell did they record this thing?
It'd be Kirk Cousins now.
I heard it's very E-heavy. Is that true?
Oh, what the fuck was with E? What a
He was
douchebag.
banging up a fucking...
He's crushing pussy.
And why his woman that he's so in love with is having
Sloane?
a baby. He's fucking chick after chick. Like literally as she's ready to have the baby. His baby.
He's always been a douche.
Yeah, he's a douche. And really bad at his job.
Yeah, I mean, what the... He has one job. He's got to do one thing. He fucks it up.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he also made me hate that model I always went on about, Emily Ratajkowski.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, ugh, you suck. Also, yeah, and then she was at the party drinking a Budweiser. Like, because models go to parties to drink Budweisers, not even fucking
What
Bud
would you
Light.
ever drink?
Bud Light, at the very fucking least. Come on.
Still beer.
God. Who's put fucking Bud Heavies in this goddamn city?
You know, I saw Joe try to set up his Kirk Cousins bit, but it is pretty fucking funny. Is it up on the iBang? Check to see if it went up yet. If not, we'll hold it until it does. But Kirk Cousins feeling like he's getting a little badassy with people. It's hard to believe. Here's Steve in Michigan.
Yeah, Hitler had a half-brother who was in the U.S.
Which half,
Navy
top or
during
bottom?
World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Did they know that they were half brothers?
Yeah.
Why didn't anybody ever make this movie before? By the way, this was the last person I'd ever fucking trust as being in our military is the fucking half brother of Hitler.
Private Hitler?
We got to option this story.
Hitler Bros.
I guess we optioned it from that guy who just called, but
I always think it is amazing. Well, my dad actually experienced this in school, is when Pearl Harbor was attacked, that they all were called in to listen to a radio together.
Yeah. They wheeled out a big radio in the middle of the auditorium.
Yeah. And they all the kids sat there and heard it. And he said none of them had heard of Honolulu before then. He had Hawaii wasn't a state. I guess it'd be like us hearing about some town in America, Samoa, or some shit.
Right. And then they were but I love that story of like, they were all gathered together to hear it. It's amazing to me.
Well, I guess that happened on 9/11. They probably called kids together, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, though.
We all ran to the library because it was on TV there.
Well, yours was, yours, it was in your neighborhood. It's not the same like if you were in Iowa. Then you're just like, well, you're not going home today, but you should know about this. It's history.
Heads up.
I mean, how many days has there ever been like that in our nation's history that everybody wanted to be together for something? I mean, after that, JFK, right? There was nothing in between Pearl Harbor and JFK.
Yeah, that's probably got to be the in between.
Then you got the man on the moon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That fucking stopped the clock. Then you got to probably go. I'm thinking nothing in the 70s would have pulled everybody together.
Would Missile Crisis have pulled everyone together? That freak everyone out?
Yeah, but I don't think you watched it at the same time. It wasn't like, where were you that moment?
It was more like the air of what was going on.
Yeah, like Watergate was on TV in the 70s, but
what about John Lennon?
John Lennon was 1980, and that stopped everybody cold.
Now, what about Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy's assassination? Did that have a similar...
Some people felt the other way around about it. You know what I mean? There were some people who felt like it was a good thing. I mean, I'm sure every black person knows where they were when Martin Luther King died. I'm not sure every white person does.
Right.
John Lennon stopped everybody, particularly all the baby boomers, down in their tracks when he died. It's still to this day one of the saddest nights of my life. Incredibly sad. I sat up all night listening to music and probably what would have been the birth of FM talk, which I actually ended up working in. The fact that overnight DJs took phone calls and let people speak. And it was crushing.
Yeah. And you had got a call from your brother, right? Or you had called
I got
your
a call
brother.
from my brother.
Yeah.
To say, did you just see that? Were you watching Monday Night Football? And I'm like, and I had just gone in the other room. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said, Howard Cosell said John Lennon was shot. He's dead. I didn't even know such a thing could happen.
Yeah.
But after that, I believe, and that was a good call because I would have forgotten that. Then I would have said the space shuttle. Then the OJ verdict. Then 9/11. And I can't think of another one. Has there been any since 9/11?
No. I
Where
feel like
everybody is,
I don't know if it's at the same level.
Bin Laden getting shot and Obama giving the address.
That's true. That was kind of a big thing. I rushed home so I could watch it on TV rather than just get updates on my phone. That's how I really felt different than other young people, is that I felt like I can't see this on a phone. Like, I need to be in front of a TV. Like, there was something really weird about getting the news that way. And I felt like I had to be in front of an actual television and watching
that's a really good point, because you're like saying like, oh, my brother called me from California to share that moment. And there's someone going to like this. I remember getting the tweet. I remember when I was texted that baby Hitler was murdered.
What about Moosey?
When Mother Teresa died, somebody I know when I was in middle school, someone I know got it on their beeper, like as an alert. Nice. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm blowing up. Mother Teresa's dead, guys. And we were all underneath an awning. It was raining outside. And I was like, what? And I was like, how did you just hear that? And he's like, yeah, I got it from my beeper alert. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Was he a little drug? Little drug addict?
Yes.
Bob
Dealer.
in Texas.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Hey.
I remember in the 5th grade when they said that the president got shot, Reagan, and then they wheeled in a television, and I was just thinking it was so cool that I was getting to watch TV on that day.
Well, you're a little Democrat, aren't you? Reagan getting shot, of course, was a big deal, but since he didn't die, it's one that does not serve the same way.
Yeah.
It was weird. The Pope had been shot either right before or right after, and he didn't die. So again, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you got injured, dude, at best.
Do you feel like Sandy Hook had that effect? Because I felt like I couldn't peel away from the news that day, and I felt like...
Yeah, I think there have been news stories that have made people pay attention. But the fact is, people no longer hold on to that, only because it's a common occurrence to have school shootings.
Yeah.
And when people go, oh my God, is this going to change everything? Now when people say, is this going to, I'll just go, no, it's not going to change everything. And I don't even want to be in the conversation. Enough people want us to have guns. It's a terribly difficult thing. You'd have to come close to the whole country agreeing on not to change an amendment. Nothing is going to change here.
No.
Move on.
Not with the terrible shootings that have already happened in our history.
And people are able to drop them.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit that movie theaters are shot up. They don't care that schools are shot up. I mean, I guess they care, but they don't think it's worth making a change to.
Right.
You have to respect that. You have to respect that that's part of American life. All right. Ex Joey Said So has asked you to never use the phrase Bud Heavies ever again.
Bud Heavies, bruh.
I never heard it called that.
The first time I heard someone call that was someone from Long Island. As opposed to a Bud Light, a regular Budweiser is a Bud Heavy.
Dave in Ohio.
Hey, guys. I got one for you. It's not a joke either. It really got to me. The day when Dale Earnhardt died.
Well, I will tell you this, Dave. Gail and I lived in Daytona then, so you can imagine what it did to that town. And if you're not a NASCAR fan, now the thing that happened too is that that kept it from being even more of an impact is that he died on his way to the hospital. People didn't even know it was that bad. It didn't look like we'd seen worse wrecks.
Yeah.
So when people said to you the first time Dale Earnhardt died, you're like, no, I saw it. He's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's immediately like, oh, no, it was just a wreck, but he's on his way to the hospital. Everything's going to be fine.
But the depression set in Daytona. It was unbelievable how bad people were hurt.
Yeah.
And Fez Whatley's older brother, NASCAR fan, has never been back to another race and has never turned NASCAR on TV again. Just walked away from it all.
Sworn off it completely. Fuck fish.
Yeah. Will never, like he says, I don't lead a public life anymore. I don't know whether you guys paid attention to when the Buccaneers had a 24-0 halftime win and then lost that fucking game.
Yes. I have nowhere to turn to.
Horrible.
I'm texting back and forth with Fez all day, even during the winning part. And I'm writing to him, I'll show you the text. It'll be like, Tampa will never lose another game ever. They are the best thing.
James
and
Winston.
I was writing like Winston tastes good and all that kind of shit. And fucking, he would not enjoy the win while it was happening. He would not enjoy being up 24-0. He says there's too much time left and these guys will kill you. After the game, Fez wrote to me, I hope their plane crashes on the way home.
What?
What?
Why?
Yeah. So I'm because he really felt bad. So then I write back to him. I'm like, wow, that turned dark awful quick. And he goes, look, it's already bad enough I'm sick without having a team like this to follow. And he was basically blaming him for his hard recovery. But he, I wouldn't even tease him about that's how bad it hurt. I felt bad too to see any team drop like that.
No, yeah, that is always really heartbreaking. Even if it's not your team, you're like, oh, you had it. What
Even
did you
I'm
do?
watching the game yesterday with the fucking Texans coach, and I'm like, fire him right now. This is embarrassing.
Fucking 6 touchdowns in the first half against the fucking Dolphins?
And he has that sick little boy, and I'm like, fire him in front of his sick son.
Yeah. Hey, little boy, because your father can't coach football, you don't have health insurance. Good luck.
Here's the deal. What's wrong, Joe?
It's just such a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah, well, it's the truth.
You don't know how bad this loss was. You only watch Minnesota. I'm in red zone. I'm following everything. I'm a godlike responsibility. But you're watching something, and I'm like, how come no one brings up J.J. Watt's fucking name?
Hey, Clowney got his first sack ever.
Yeah. J.J. Watt and Clowney are on that team, and this fucking defense blows.
The fucking the quarterback missed the flight and had to make his way to the game on his own. What the? Just fucking disband the franchise. Fuck him.
That is no respect for a coach.
Come on.
This is something that now I see as judgmental Joe because he was judging my thing. But this is Kirk Cousins after the game over. Is there any volume on it?
You like that? You like that? You like that? You like that?
No, you know what's funny too? He's wearing a throwback thing when people didn't act that way. You know what I mean?
You like that? You like that?
Silent room, pretty much.
Who's he yelling at?
Press?
The wall?
Is there press back there?
Joe, this is your story. You've got to give us some of the background.
It was after the Redskins won yesterday, and they had an impressive win, to say the least, and Kirk Cousins played really
Terrible.
well.
He had a good second half.
Yeah.
But they were fucking terrible.
But he's acting like this. It's one game, Redskins fans. Let's face it, you don't have to get this hype.
Todd in Boston.
Yeah, when the USA beat Russia.
Not true.
In hockey. No?
Not true. First of all, people don't realize this. That game was not played live. So I remember that day hearing about it before we watched the game.
Yeah.
And I said to my friend Tommy Famera, I go, hey, is it fucking true? Did the U.S. beat Russia? And he's like this. He's like, I'm just hearing it now. He goes, isn't it weird no one watches these games besides us? We were watching and caught up in the Olympics and in this team. But this game was not played live, Todd. It's bullshit. And then we almost lost the fucking gold medal game. So people were nervous about it. But it's only as the myth grew after the fact. It did not make America happy.
Yeah, okay.
It took time, and it actually got used as almost a commercial by the Reagan administration, like because we were coming out of this bad, gas crisis and all that. Like, hey, we can come back just like the U.S. hockey team beating Russia. Then people would clap. Like, yeah, we did beat them.
I guess we can do it.
Putin is here. Obama's here. Putin is here. Obama's here. This is my tea. This is my cup. This is my friend. This is me.
We love tea.
We love tea so much. We're always drinking tea. Fucking Rush. Who would have thought in your life that you would find Russian people to be adorable? When I was a little kid, it was the scariest thing was Russian people. And then the scariest thing of all was Russian women. We considered them ugly and manly and disgusting. And now you're like, wait, Russian chicks are beautiful.
Yeah, they're totally hot.
They lied to us. This is our own government with the fucking so-called left-wing media lying to us about Russian women.
Yeah, they were to get you on their side. They said, and you wouldn't like them anyway because their women are so ugly.
Yeah, we're like, fuck them. They don't have a lot of money like us, and the women are disgusting.
They're so big and hairy.
Yeah,
Freakish mutant race.
They give everybody really hard, terrible massages.
Yeah,
For some
they'll
reason.
just crack your back and stuff.
They have
I'm not
beards. Freak shows. Ugh.
Spence said, how did your dad listen to Pearl Harbor in school? It was a Sunday. The speech.
No, the speech that
is what was listened to.
Yeah.
Spaz. And that was done all over the world. Berlin Wall coming down. Joyful stories don't probably stop people in their tracks.
What about the first one for me in my lifetime that I remember was the Oklahoma City bombing? And that was the first time I was aware of a place called Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah. I was 6. I was 6 years old.
Stupid.
Still, I had a map. I used to love looking at maps when I was a little
KC,
kid.
baby, come on.
Wait, Oklahoma. So why did you feel about something that you didn't even know existed?
Well, I felt bad after.
Isn't this weird? You knew about Neverland before you knew about Oklahoma. That's
bad.
what's weird about kids.
That's bad parenting, in my opinion.
It's that
I've
shitty
seen
Minnesota
his parents.
parenting.
Thanks,
They buy
Dad.
him clothes. They're very good parents. They let him piss in bottles. If I could save piss in a bottle. Did you work out that thing with Molly yet?
Not yet. I'm
I want a
going
full
to.
apology.
Yes.
Dude, seriously.
Yeah.
Something really formal and really nice too.
Yes,
like
I will.
Just to say you didn't realize how far it went.
Yeah.
Billy, what's up?
Ronnie B.
Hey.
Hey, I lost my ass in the Eagles game last night, so I was hoping Stanley could give me a pick for the Mets game tomorrow.
For tomorrow, they win tomorrow. They win tomorrow.
That's your gut feeling? That's not just what you're saying?
No,
Your gut
no, they're
telling you
they're
win?
going to win. It's Mets in overall.
You say
Mets
that
in
with
5.
all the parts of your body, though.
Yeah.
Mets in 5 overall. They win tomorrow.
All right, so we got to bet against the Mets because Stanley doesn't have a winning bone in his big centaur body.
Really, bro? Because the goddamn Mets have got to the World Series.
He has been writing this out, and it does seem like, and I hate to say it, but he's a fucking rabbit's foot right now. I mean, this motherfucker is a horseshoe. You
Bring
know?
it, Scope Bros. Come on.
Yeah.
Is that why Joe was rubbing him earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ought to.
I was like, Joe, come over, get some of this mojo, bro. And
Got my mojo working.
Wyken.
Yeah, I like that rockabilly thing today.
Yeah. Got some good ones planned.
So, I always root National League, unlike Chris Stanley. I don't change at the top. But I will say this. I'm not going to feel bad to see the Mets lose this. Because that team has been working hard. They're a small market team. And when George Brett the other night started holding on to his own heart and checking his pulse, I'm like, well, first of all, two things. George Brett still looks like he could hit 340. At this age, he's fucking ripped. And he's what, 63, 64?
yeah, he's old.
And second of all, I hate Stanley for jumping on board this Met bandwagon.
There's no bandwagon here. I've always been a Mets fan.
Why'd you just pronounce it bandwagon?
I'm on the bandwagon. I'm definitely
Yeah,
not.
I'm on a bandwagon, guys.
Again.
What are you doing, huh? You and Hunts Hall gonna fucking go down to the Bowery and fucking watch the game?
What do you say? What do you know? What do you say,
I'm
boys?
gonna find a watering hole.
What do you hear? What do you say? I got all my money on the Mets this week.
I'm
Looking pretty sweet.
What do you know? You're trash.
I'm 3 sheets to the wind here.
Let me tell you something, Chris Stanley. You'll go to one of your long, thin bars and watch this fucking. But you look so much like Barfly when that fucking happened. These are all my friends. These are all my friends.
Drinks for all my friends.
Are you definitely going to make sure that you're on before and after every win and loss on Scope?
Yeah, I'll be hitting it hard.
Is that so?
Yeah, I'm hitting it hard for this fucking World Series. Trust me, bros. And Scope bros out there.
So you're going to be mixing pills and alcohol? This is going to be one exciting series.
I mean,
You're going to be careful with that, right? You're not going to do that?
I'm the most careful person any of you people know.
No, that's not true.
Not
Yeah,
true
none of
at
that.
all.
Nothing you say is true. Al in Maryland.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Hey, when Ayrton Senna, a Formula One driver from Brazil, when he died in 1994, it was global in the grief. I mean, he was like Dale Earnhardt, but global. Formula One to the rest of the world is like cup
You know,
soccer
I
in the
don't
United
remember
States.
it getting a lot of play in the United States, but there's a documentary about this guy that
I drove to New York to see that documentary because I thought it wouldn't play in my small town. It did not. When they showed that his death on the scene, there was just silence and people started crying. This is 20 years later.
Dude,
Crying in the
I
movie
didn't even know the story, so it came as a shock to me, right? But when they showed people in the streets of Brazil crying and holding on to each other and just lining up 50 deep for when his hearse was going back, I found myself fucking holding back tears too, because I'm like, how come I can't have a life where so many people care about me? You know? Why can't I have a life where, it'll be a national loss? Because that's what you want. Actually, what you want is to have that kind of life and then outlive it. Like Maureen O'Hara died the other day. Now, I'm a guy who loves old movies.
Yeah.
I love her. She's not known by people anymore, but she was a gigantic movie star in her day. Errol Flynn movies, John Wayne movies.
Yeah.
But she lived to 94, so people went, oh, yeah. And somebody died the other day. Apparently, 6 years ago, they had a good life. But I talked to her 15 years ago at NEW, and I couldn't have been more excited. Because one of my favorite movies of all time. What movie are we doing?
I don't know.
You don't even know the movie himself.
Oh my God.
He doesn't know the movie.
What movie?
Can I say it?
Yeah.
It's Quiet Man.
There's a man who knows his country's history.
Yes.
So let me tell you this. So I talked to her that night, and when I hang up, I said to her, Marina, I've loved you my whole life. And it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I actually meant it, because I used to love Errol Flynn movies when I was a fucking kid. I don't know why. I just was crazy about him. I guess because I knew that he was a child molester. But
you know he'd love you back.
And I was a child. And I thought he was a man. As I sit here in my jammies watching this with my dad and my brother, this man, before he died, probably would have molested me. So great. No, he only molested girls. Back in an age where you could still do it.
It wasn't too frowned upon.
Yeah, 14 was considered, well, she was asking for it.
It's fine.
She's of age.
Joey, Iowa.
I was thinking the first Gulf War back in 91 when Bernard Shaw covered the attack on Baghdad live.
It was a big deal. It was our first big CNN war. But oddly, because my kids were little, I turned off the fucking TV. I did not want them to sit and watch war show up in front, especially when people were cheering.
You said, what is it good for?
Well, I said war, huh? What is it good for? Remember what you said back to me?
Absolutely nothing.
Say it again. But no, my kids were little. You know, I didn't want to. I mean, it seems like when there's the start of a war, you don't know how fast or how dangerous it's going to be. And you could, it's weird, once you have children, you're not, like, my whole life I wanted to see UFOs, right? I wanted UFOs to land on the planet. But once I had kids, it's the last thing I wanted to see. You know, UFOs is what
Please, sir, I have children here.
And you come back when they're older and have had some experiences. Like now, would you be happy or nervous if you saw spacecraft coming into Earth's orbit?
I think I would be pretty excited about it.
Because you do not have children.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't give a fuck. Because you are lucky enough now you've got nothing to lose. Chris Stanley's lucky because he's already lost.
That's right.
So
take me, alien species.
They don't want you.
No, please.
Yes, we did.
I'd be out there singing, nothing to lose if we are one. I hope they get the reference.
Yeah.
I really do.
If they've been monitoring this planet the way I believe they have.
They should have.
Yeah. Are you watching Fargo yet?
I am. I've been watching it since the get.
So the spoiler alert, that I won't give away from episode 1.
Yes.
Did that throw you off, or did you still enjoy that?
No, I was very intrigued, and
you think
I'm
there's
not.
going to be more?
And I'm not entirely sure what we saw is what we think we saw. I'm still open to different
I mean,
do you guys watch The Leftovers?
I've read the book. I never watched the show. I didn't like it.
Well, it's different already in the book. I'm in the second season now.
How is it?
I notice I don't watch any of the same shows as you guys.
I watch Fargo.
We just talked about Fargo.
One show.
I watched the first season of Leftovers.
Yeah, well, I'm talking the second season now.
Get with the fucking times, Joe. Jesus Christ.
I'm like the fucking Entourage movie.
It's 90s. It's the 90s. You better fucking hammer time that shit.
Bring it!
Because what does it smell like? It smells like fucking Teen Spirit right now. I wonder if, when they got the thing for the album notes, somebody didn't say, seems like we have a mistake. Looks like this song smells like Teen Spirit. And as you know, that makes no sense at all. So what's the real title? You might have misheard it because it's a little grungy. If they would have called it Smells Like Teen Assholes, everybody would say, oh, I get it.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Delightful smell.
Hold on, there's a guy all dressed up because his kid's the one that, this is so heartbreaking, she's the one that ran into that Oklahoma parade thing.
Horrible.
And she's mental, as they say. What's that O for in his hat?
Oh.
Ohio?
No.
Not
that's
the
not
big
the
one.
No.
It's not the college.
Oregon? Ducks? Is it for the Ducks?
Why would anybody? It was Oklahoma is where they are, but I never saw that kind of O for Oklahoma.
He's showing his O face right now. Too soon.
That's disgusting, Chris. This is a tragedy.
This is horrible.
People are bringing up, saying Chris still has never seen The Quiet Man. He's just saying that because you brought it up to him last year and he hadn't seen it.
How about you suck me then? Everyone.
Chris, I wish you wouldn't say stuff.
Guys, you know he's on the perks.
Nicely.
Chris is taking a lot of pills right now.
Pills are good, Chris.
Is there anything else to talk about? Because we're starting to get towards the time to close down. I'll just say this. Jimmy Fallon is a cutter. That's up on the iBank today.
He is.
He keeps hurting himself over and over.
Is it a cry for help?
Yeah. Either that or his wife is hurting him, which I believe to be true. But every time you turn around, the man's got another bruise.
This one tripped over someone, smashed a bottle of Jaeger.
Come on.
And cut himself.
Jaeger.
What year is this, dude? Is it the fucking 80s or are we in the 90s?
Everyone drinks.
What grade are you in?
Everyone drinks Fireball now, all right? All me and my bros drink Fireball.
There's a story about Andy Kaufman and Red Fox will be touring holograms.
Yeah.
You do want to see that?
I'm going to be there.
And David Spade talks about his fight with Eddie Murphy that went on for years and years and how scared he was. And all came from when remember when he did Hollywood Minute? You ever remember that on
Hell yeah.
Saturday Night Live? And he did this. He puts up a picture of Eddie Murphy and said, "Look, kids, a falling star." And, got the laugh, went back. Eddie Murphy wants to talk to you. Tell him I can't talk to him right now. He describes they can't take his call. And they were relentless. And he said finally when fucking Murphy got him on the phone, he just fucking lit him up. And you're like, well, you wouldn't even fucking have a job if it wasn't for me. I fucking built that place. I saved it. We built this city on rock and roll. And now you're making fucking fun of me. And Spade just took it. He said down to the point where he would dodge if Murphy was someplace.
Oh, God.
I guess he thought he was going to get beat up, but he said he was at a fucking prize fight and he was enjoying himself and turned around and saw Murphy and just was like crunching out small.
Puts his hood up.
So
I gotta go.
You think Spade was being a fucking jerk or Murphy was being a jerk? I'll ask you first, Perky.
Murphy was taking that thing way too seriously. It was just a joke.
Yeah, you're a man of humor. I would agree with that. You know that shit's gonna...
Spade should have manned up and eventually talked to him, though, instead of dodging him for years.
Well, look at him. He can't take Murphy.
I know, but here's the thing. Murphy made some good points. Like, this is my fucking house, right? And his career had kind of been a little fucked up place. You know what I mean? So if he was like, if he would have done something other than my career stuff.
Right. Like a race joke or?
Well, I grew up in radio, so you never tease somebody about their bad ratings.
Right.
You just never do. But no one ever said to me, never tease someone because they had a bad book. I just knew it, as the world knew it, that when a friend has a bad book, you just don't bring it up.
Right.
Or else you go, oh, these fucking things suck. They go back and forth. But you don't do jokes about someone's last book because they would stop being your friend.
And because you're in it. And the same shit could happen to you.
Right. And, Murphy's never been as bad at movies as David Spade has. But was David Spade just joking and it being a kid? Yeah. But that's the other thing. Your job as a funny person is to walk up to the line and not cross it. Right. And that changes person by person. There are things you could tease Chris about, his addiction. But I would never tease Chris about his girlfriend because he gets furious if it comes up.
Thank you.
He gets mad even if I go, oh, you fucked around with another chick. He'll get very mad.
Hey.
So he's acting it out for us now.
Yeah, I see how he would be if one were to actually make that joke. Thank you.
That's why I hired the Chris Stanley players to come in. But, I know that there's things that, I know with all my friends, there's things that where you can go and where you can't go.
Sure.
He crossed the line. He took some shit. What's the big deal about that? You know what I mean? Murphy didn't destroy his career.
Right.
He just fucking called him up and said, hey, motherfucker, you're no one compared to me, which, is also true.
Sure.
I mean, he's not doing Adam Sandler jokes. Why is that? Sandler pays him that money.
He's that dog.
He gives him that paper.
You always go back to the paper one. That's your thing.
Yeah, paper.
I'm gonna do
or coins. Let me get my coins.
I'm gonna do paper first and leave you fucking with.
I'll go with coins. You think I don't have coins ready? If somebody grabs paper?
True. Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll start doing this. I'm grab some of that pay.
And then I'll come in and pronounce it.
Hey, let's watch it with the N-word, fellas. Can we?
For one day.
What? It's offensive to me.
Well, I noticed that when we're all jumping in, you never get involved.
Well, you guys took all the ones I was going to say. I was going to go ducats, or I don't know, stacks, racks on stacks, stacks on racks.
Well, you just, even if you don't feel like you got it, just do it in the background. Stacks.
Could have done that.
Stick it right.
I guess Dan never came back from the micro store.
I hope he's okay.
I think he's in there. He's buying a fucking Apple, whatever.
Okay, this is on our time.
An Apple, whatever,
Jesus.
He got lost in a sentence.
Why is he getting smaller? He's melting.
He's melting.
You killed her.
That's still the best line of the whole thing. And you think, oh shit, I'm in trouble, I killed her. And then find out those pricks are now happy?
Yeah. Well, then why were you being so mean to me earlier? What a world! What a world!
They have a list of the highest paid comedians that's up there. And then it's all up on Comedy News. Chris, are you doing a post-show scope today?
Yeah, I'll crack a scope today.
Based on what?
I don't know. I'm going to maybe well, I didn't do Smoking with Chris on Friday. I could do a Smoking with Chris today, just solo, unless someone wants to smoke a cigarette with me.
Are we recording anything today, or?
We should be recording some stuff today. We should have a quick meeting after the show to figure out when we're recording everything.
Okay. I know coming up, well, I'm not even going to get to it. I'll just say this. Fuck you, Chris Stanley.
What?
It's just a way of getting at it. I was going to say something and then thought better of it. So
But you know what? That's good because you cut right to the point.
there's my man. You know,
There's your dude.
one day I busted his balls on the air about calling us, and he's never been friendly with me since.
Really?
I didn't see this person.
Hey, did you hear back from?
Not yet.
Did you write to her?
I did write to her.
I read what you wrote.
I wrote, Molly, are we cool?
That's fucked up. Dude.
I'm gonna call her afterwards.
Hold on.
Why would you write, "Are we cool"?
I just-
Formal and
Her
nice.
Fucking apology.
I can see his text message from here, from the angle. It says, "Dear Piss Queen."
Dude.
You can't.
Why
You
would you
can't.
say that? That's the opposite of an apology.
I'm gonna call her immediately after this.
Call her now. Why
Please
would you say
do.
that?
You're such a shithead.
You don't put her on the air, but let's hear just your side of it.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, this is why people hate people from the Midwest, because they have no fucking sense of feelings. They're all cold as shit.
Yes.
Just like the winners.
Huh?
Like the winners.
Oh, yeah.
Seeps into your heart.
If you have a fucking heart, the dark.
Seeps into his cold farts.
Calling her right now.
I bet she doesn't take your call.
Why would she? You called her Piss Queen.
I got a fucking toonie says she doesn't fucking pick up.
Throw that shit around like a
Okay, I went to her voicemail.
Give me toonie.
Went to her voicemail. It was a guy who answered her voicemail that said, "Hey, it's Molly. I'm back in the country. Please leave a message."
A dude said that?
Yeah, and I guess she had a guy record it for her.
Well, she's got I think, a little boyfriend.
Yeah. Last time she was
That's
in,
right.
she had a fella, and we all got to see pictures of him.
Yeah,
Love
he's a
her.
good looking kid.
Handsome kid, yeah.
Strapping.
I just didn't think her little body was ready to explore anymore.
No, she's just a baby.
No.
She's a baby.
She's tiny.
Hmm. She's just little.
She's not ready for it.
Her is too little for that.
For that big dick.
Joe,
All
stop.
day. You tell me you want to bring up the Michael Jordan thing, and then you don't want.
Oh, yeah.
What if he was still recording all that? Like this showed up on my.
Oh, no.
Showed up on Molly's machine. But you fucking embarrassed her sister in front of her family.
Oh, why would you do it?
I didn't even know. I would have tried to rectify the situation.
She said we're in the car with my parents, and then you're saying she pissed in cups.
Oh. I will have to make this right.
And then you and your fucking sister, and you and your buddy were talking about railing her sister.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember that part.
I remember because I watched it on the scope, bro.
Yeah, it was in the scope.
I'll have to make sure.
It was
I
actually
talk to
him more than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's your roommate.
And then
your boy.
you brought up the pissing in cups again. That's something you never.
No,
dropped.
my parents did. They brought it up because I did it.
So you
yeah.
are no better than who you judged, by the way.
Yeah, and then tell your mother to fucking call you and apologize to you. By are we cool?
Yeah, unbelievable, dude.
So go ahead and tell your story. That
right.
You said it's 10 times more important than Quentin Tarantino versus the cops.
All right, so the real estate guy who's selling Jordan's house in the suburbs of Chicago, he made a movie trailer for it so that to try to convince people to actually buy this giant expensive house. It's up on the iBank. It's watch this movie trailer to buy Michael Jordan's house, as if you needed.
Do you think that this doesn't happen much with expensive properties?
I didn't think like this thing is like a straight up movie trailer, and just pushing the Jordan thing. I just,
How long is the trailer?
It's like a minute, under a minute.
Let me watch it.
Some opportunities only come once in a lifetime. This is one of them. The name Jordan is synonymous with success. How many times have you heard, he is the Michael Jordan of this, she is the Michael Jordan of that, he's the Michael Jordan of real estate? Well, this is the Michael Jordan of homes because this is Michael Jordan's home. People can and do buy into this brand of success at many levels, but only one person in the world will own the ultimate representation of that success. 56,000 square feet of success. Only one person will own a piece of history. Only one person will be able to say, I just bought Michael Jordan's house. Will it be you? Start your legend.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, how many people can even fucking do that? And what he's saying is if you're a guy who owns your own corporation, wouldn't it be cool to own Michael Jordan's house to say to people, hey, when you come over, we're going to play basketball on Michael Jordan's old court?
That does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
mean, how many people in the country do you think could afford to buy that house? 500? 1,000?
Right around there,
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, see how tough that is to sell something. Now, first of all, that's where? Outside of Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So now you've now taken it to, well, that's not a vacation spot. This isn't Miami. It's not Los Angeles. It's not New York. People tend to live in Chicago, not think I have a summer home in Chicago or a winter home in Chicago. So you're asking for really rich people in the Chicago area that don't want to live downtown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a very narrow.
It's tough.
Sliver.
This house has been for sale forever. And that's what happens when you own something. I used to work for a guy who had a giant yacht. And when he tried to sell it, they literally had to create a book like that you sent out to people about the yacht, its history, and the book itself cost a ton of money. Now this guy started Home Shopping Network with some other motherfucker, right? I think they both might be dead, but at least this guy I knew was. And he had a private plane. At one time, his house that he bought was the most expensive house ever in America. He bought some Palm Beach fucking house, and it made the front cover of USA Today as he just paid more money for a house, and the fucking dude loved it that it just showed up there because he was literally a regular guy. He was a guy that was a general manager of an AM radio station. You couldn't get any shittier than this fucking job, and they had so little money coming in that they went. One of their suppliers who was selling to them couldn't pay him off and paid him off in light bulbs, right? So these dudes started selling the light bulbs like on a Saturday morning. Like, we'll sell you 12 light bulbs for $5, 12 light bulbs for $5. And they're going, you know what? We're making more money doing this than if we were, putting on programming and then selling the commercials. Why don't we try it? And then they went on like basic cable and started fucking doing it. And then the satellite industry started, and they got one of the early ones. Just start selling this shit online. Literally shit. There hasn't been anything in the history of the fucking thing that a good product came through there. And it's still working up to this day.
Yeah.
QVC and HSN.
They still make a ton of money. It's always confusing because you're thinking, who is watching these? But they stay afloat. Yeah.
Lori goes on Shark Tank, and her thing is, I can get this product on QVC, and people will pick her because she can. She's gotten hundreds of products on there and lied to people about how great they are. They were making a fortune. A guy in Shark Tank came up with a little piece of metal and a magnet that you could have your readers stick to your pocket rather than you putting the end of your readers in your pocket. And they're fucking rich from it. A piece of shit. In the meantime, Polo's probably made one of the greatest films of all time and can't get anybody to watch it.
That's a sin.
Unbelievable.
I would have been a good job for BL, right? Being on Home Shopping or one of those shitty things.
She could have done that, yeah.
Yeah, but then she'd start pointing at her fucking pussy and calling it a woos.
Yeah.
Still calling it a woos after all these years.
I don't want to buy this product now.
All right, coming up in a little bit, Stanley will be on Scope Talk. Are you going to do Smoking with Chris? What are you doing?
I'm going to do Smoking with Chris. I'm going to do a quick Smoking with Chris. Follow at the iBang on Twitter and Periscope.
And you feel like your Periscopes are that good that people should be following?
Fuck yes. I'm the guy.
I watch them.
Periscope, king of 48th Street.
Dude, first of all, I never said it to upset you. So the way that you laughed in my face.
You've taken offense.
Yeah. It wasn't meant that way, Chris.
I apologize then.
That's all I asked for.
My bad.
Look how you did more for me than this fucking prick did to Molly, where he just wrote, "We good."
Yeah.
You apologize like a man.
Yes. Ron, I apologize for laughing, okay? Unlike Joe, who's jerking off in the corner right now in his own face.
I didn't know you could see that part.
I can, and I wish you would stop.
Not in front of Gail.
Red in Canada.
Okay, so if Chris was playing that lottery thing that over his phone or something like that a week or two ago,
Jack Pocket.
So if he wins, fuck you, Ron Bennington money, is he going to buy Jordan's house?
Well, first of all, Red, before we get to that, since I own Luke Longley's old house, why wouldn't Chris want to still stay friends with me and be house teammates?
Well, I don't know.
Best kind of friends you could be.
How did I pull out the name Luke Longley? I'm fucking seriously proud of myself.
Yeah.
Really, out of all the names on the team, no one dumber.
Tony Kukoc.
Yeah, I'll still stay with the Luke Longley and that big. That slow motion Bigfoot run that he had. All right, we got to wrap this one up, Chris. Anything to...
I have something to plug.
Why would you wait to the end of the show? You got something big?
Yeah.
An announcement?
I
Great.
thought that would be a good time.
All right.
This is a big plug. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m., I'm going to be a guest on The Best Show.
Whoa!
With Tom Scheibling.
Yeah!
And I'm very excited. So you guys should check that out. It's 9 p.m. every Tuesday, but tomorrow, 9 p.m. And I think you can get it on thebestshow.net.
Well, first of all, Tom Scheibling is, I'm going to say it, in this business, a legend.
Yes.
So, A, I am proud, and then B, I am jealous that you are doing The Best Show.
Thank you for the pride. And I'm sorry to hear about the jealousy.
Oh, no. I'll get even with you.
Damn
the
it.
jealousy.
You get asked on all the good shows.
I forgot. You're not coming to Thanksgiving this year.
What?
Maybe Tom Scheibling will have you over.
Tom, please, I'm an orphan now.
By the way,
I've been cast aside.
my mom just called me. I talked to her the other day, and she said that she bought a 30-pound turkey from the Amish.
They sell them that big?
Yeah.
They grow them that big.
Seems a little early yet.
Yeah. Still a month.
Yeah, it's a month away. It's not that early. You don't want to have nothing.
Mm-mm.
According to this, Ben Carson beating Iowa by 14 in Iowa by 14 points. I am stunned. Not that you wouldn't vote for Trump, but that anyone would vote for Ben Carson.
It's weird.
They reported that it was because of his laid-back demeanor that Iowans are relating to that. His laid-back delivery.
I don't want a laid-back president.
I don't want a laid-back president.
I don't want Ben Crosby as my president. Bum, 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 bum.
But boy, can he swing.
I'm sorry, I didn't have time to get to it today. I was out shopping. Thought I'd stop for a little cold ice cream.
Mr. President, nothing is getting done.
Bum, 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 bum.
Can
Well,
sing good.
I'll get right to everything after I take a little nappy nap. I'm going to sleep and then leave my pajamas on and wear them to a meeting later. I'm Ben Carson. Listen, I'm just going to write BC. I don't have the energy to write it.
It's a treaty.
Don't call me Mr. President. Mr. President is my dad.
No, it's
Obama.
not.
No, you're,
Wait, what?
but you're the president.
Call me Dr. Ben Carson, brain surgeon. Used to be a brain surgeon, don't do it anymore. Too hard. No. No, I just stand out front, have a little card that said, help me. Pot, please, for weed money. Pot or weed money, that's all I'm looking for. How can anyone vote for this fucking guy?
He's too sleepy.
I'm starting to like him, though.
He's too stupid.
I like that about him. That he's
Yeah, I
fucking
guess
dumb.
so. I mean, if that's your thing, if you want stupid, you got him.
Give me stupid people.
I'm voting straight T-Rump, and I'm moving to Iowa to do it. He's getting killed. 14 points, huh?
Oh, God damn it.
I bet Trump will only lose once and then quit. Fuck this, please.
Done with this.
Yeah, but didn't Iowa vote Huckabee?
Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
Thebestshow.net.
Best show.
Gail, are you ready to do this?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm very excited.
You should say you had some funny stories today. You should have saved them.
I'll have to live a whole life in the next 24 hours.
I'll give you a couple of stories. I got a great tripping at the Philadelphia Zoo story that works well everywhere. When I leaned into the tiger and went like this, me? Me?
I could use that.
Yeah.
I'll just be there. So me and Berkey were at the Philadelphia Zoo.
And Rap.
And Rapper.
All right. That's it for us. Joe just gave a tiny little wave. He just gave a little tiny wave to somebody else. Say like, baby.
Hey.
I'm a baby.
Baby wave.
Hi.
Wow.
So that is for us. Chris, what time are you doing your Smoking with Chris today?
4 p.m. Smoking with Chris goes down.
And tomorrow's would be
420 with special guest, Open Mike Eagle.
Do you know did you see how many arrests have gone down in the city of Philadelphia since they stopped putting people in jail? 75.
75%.
Oh my God.
It is completely dropped. And if that is not a lesson for what we should be doing across the nation, I don't know what else is. And they're saying it's not even affecting them financially because they're still ticketing people. There's still stuff, but their jails are not filled with just pot smokers.
No, but also for the local economy, hoagie sales are up, pork sandwiches sales are up.
Thank God.
And cheesesteak sales have leveled out, but at such a gross amount that it's almost disgusting. I mean, the fact that they can stay at that plateau is alarming.
Because then at that point, is there anything anyone's not eating?
Do you know they say in the city of Philadelphia, 15 is considered middle age, just for the way people live their lives?
It's getting up there.
Yeah, is there anywhere else in the country that still arrests people or puts them in jail for marijuana?
North Dakota, I think, does it.
Really?
Yeah, they're very strict on it.
Loosen up.
Huh?
My friend, he was driving on the highway. He got pulled over, had half a joint in his cup holder, and he got arrested and had to spend the night in jail.
Yeah, half a joint in your cup holder is called having a cup holder. I think it comes with half a joint in it.
I bought it with it.
Sounds like your boy's pussy, bro. Just a half.
Always a nice thing, though, when you're like, fuck, well, how do we... Wait a minute, what about that cup holder? Is there anything in there?
Oh!
They have a joint in there.
Thank God.
Let me smoke that before I see my friends, then.
So harsh, but good.
Remind me, go over names of people I want you to book.
Will do.
Because I've been bringing this up to you for 3 weeks.
I had the name. I was going to bring it up to you after the show.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, yes.
Instead of leaving it out there. All right, we got to get out of here. Did you just show me money?
A business card.
Okay. That's it. Businessman Perk Boy will be doing a scope show in a little bit. Gail is doing the best show. Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm so excited. And you can listen, thebestshow.net tomorrow night at 9 p.m.
That's fantastic. I know I'll be listening going like this. Funnier. Be more entertaining.
It's going to be terrifying.
Yeah,
just know that's happening.
Do better. My God, when I was your age, I scored 6 touchdowns.
So much pressure, Tom Sharpling. You don't know.
It's a chug. Is
that all I am to you? A clown?
Yes.
A jester?
Yes. It's the family business. Bring on the heat. The Bennington Show. We'll see you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!